Welcome, Stunthangar fans. I'm Rusty, and tonight's Stunthangar Hangout is happening on May the 10th, 2019. And welcome. I think last week we pretty much covered the Huntersville reports. So tonight maybe we can get some new stuff going. We got the Joe Knoll cranking up, and with the Joe Knoll, everybody around the world convenes on Triple Tree Aerodrome, and that's always big fun. Thousands of people. I don't know, 20, 30,000, I think. Sparky said a number the other night. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's a whole lot of folks and big fun. So I'm planning on going up there later on this week. Thursday, we're having a stunt clinic, maybe a judging clinic. I'm going to go up there for that, whether to participate or just be there and hang out. And so I got to make arrangements to get my flying chair up there. I hadn't talked to anybody, probably should have already. Hey, Bob Bishop and David Phelps. Good evening. So y'all are quick coming in. We got 5 out there watching, and I appreciate that. So, and the links are posted in the usual places. We got them in the at the bench through. Oops, no, we don't. Hang on just a second. Let me catch up with myself here so that I'm not lying to you. And okay, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, now the links are posted in the at the bench thread on the Stunthangar control line forums. Sorry about that, a little slow on the uptake tonight. But if you are logged into the if you're logged into the Stunthangar control line forums, then all you've got to do is go to the at the bench thread and open tonight's post. It'll be the newest post in the stack, and click the link that I gave you, and you can get in here with us live if you've got a camera and a microphone. Otherwise, you can just go to the YouTube homepage for Stunthangar, 2 words, and join us there and use the text chat box. Now, look, I'm glad I got all of you guys in here right now because Jack Snavely, Bob Bishop, and let's see, there's somebody else I need to check, but I'm going to post hey, Gary Sinclair, I'm going to post my email address. I want Bob Bishop and Jack Snavely to send me an email. And hang on just a second while I type it. And oops, I don't want to misspell my own email address. rockinrusty@aol.com. Okay. I would like for y'all just to ping me, just send me a blank email so I've got your email address. And I need to be able to send you an email. That's I've got David Phelps, not a problem. I do not have email for Bob Bishop or Jack Snavely, and I've got Gary Sinclair. That's not a problem. And because there's a couple of other guys. Let's see. I need oh yeah, Jeff Riley when he comes in here. I think I can get Al Ferraro through Facebook, but yeah, I need for you guys to send me an email for a top secret mission. And if I told you what it was, I'd have to kill you. So can't tell you. Just send me an email. Look who's here, Bob Hunt. Let me let Bob in. Stand by, Bob. And there you are. Good evening, Mr. Hunt. How you doing?
Very good. How are you? If I told you I'd have to kill you, that's good.
Yeah, I just made that up.
Yeah, right.
So what you been doing for fun?
Oh, just finishing up painting the house and kitchen and switch plates, and now I can get back to work on airplanes.
Yeah, working on the house and all. I guess it might be good for the soul, but it sure is tough on the old body.
How about it? What have you been doing with yourself?
Well, we had a big weekend last weekend. We pretty much covered it Monday with Huntersville, and that's the biggest 2 weekends pretty much in my life is the contest at Huntersville. And so we had several people in here all at the same time that were there and had a lot to talk about. And I got to fly in the chair that Mike Leinke and Will Davis and several others collaborated on to get me a bar stool that we could turn and fly out of. And that was, if nothing else, entertaining. The flight didn't go quite, it wasn't, let's just say it wasn't a 500-point flight, but we did have fun. But anyway,
Fun's a key thing to have.
I'll try that again at Triple Tree. I'm gonna see if I can get somebody to haul it up to Triple Tree for Joe Nall this week, and I'm probably going to go up there Thursday. There's a judging clinic and a stunt clinic, and I'm not sure who all's going to be there. I bet probably David Fitzgerald and some of the others will be there. I know, Derek Barry, he's one of our locals, so he'll be there. And I think Randy Smith usually comes, and pretty good crowd of comparative experts compared to all of us who need a stunt camp.
It would be fun to put all those experts on the bar stool and spin around and see how good they can do.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun. Yeah. Team stunt.
Special event,
Team stunt, yeah.
See if you can give them a stein of beer, and if they have to fly a flight on the bar stool without spilling any of the beer.
That might be able to be arranged. I'll see how much fun they're willing to have.
When you're down there at Pat Hartness's place, you have to make it Pepsi. It has to be Pepsi in the stein, not beer.
Okay.
Do you know what he does?
What is that? A dry location?
Well, I don't know about that, but do you know what he does for a living? How he made his billions?
Oh no, I don't.
He is the sole bottler of Pepsi products worldwide. He has the franchise for bottling Pepsi products worldwide.
I did not know that.
Coca-Cola is not even allowed on the place.
Okay. That's a new one on me. I did not know that. So
bring a can of Coke and you take your life in your hands.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be sure and keep that in mind. Yeah, we got a couple of new people joining us. Ken Cook of the Philly Flyers just dropped in.
Ken real well.
Yeah. Ken's one of my favorite Philly Flyers. I love those guys. They always come down to the October contest and provide a lot of entertainment and good flying too.
Ken is the winner of the perpetual winner of the Brett Buck lookalike contest.
Who is?
Ken Cook. He's the
no kidding, really
perpetual winner of the Brett Buck lookalike contest. He's probably laughing right now.
You can tell which one's Ken, because I bet Brett's not wearing the French Foreign Legion hat.
He's probably making plans now to get even with me next time he sees me.
Probably, yeah. Oh, Ken says, "Thanks a lot, Bob." He's laughing. Let's see. Jeff Riley came in, and so we got Jeff Riley, Ken Cook. We got a pretty good group forming out there on the YouTube side, and so well, good. Hope we'll have a good show tonight. We'll keep on going as late as the conversation stays good. So yeah, I'm about Triple Tree. I'm looking forward to getting up there. Such a beautiful place, and since I am not able to go to Brodak for logistic purposes with my medical treatments and all, I'm lucky to live in an area that's as close as I am to Triple Tree Aerodrome, just 90 minutes from the house, so I can make it a day trip. And it's open for flying on let's see, Wednesdays and one Saturday every month, I think, is the schedule.
Wow. What a beautiful site. That place is the most beautiful site to fly on.
It sure is. And pretty much we could go up there anytime as long as we give them a heads up, or either go up there ourselves and cut the grass. But they keep it pretty well trimmed anyway, but they'll do a little extra job on it if they know we're going to be there using it.
I remember we were there, and I was there for the whole week. I guess it was the second time it was held. I'm not sure. Maybe it was the first time. But Pat Hartness came down with this big gang mower that apparently he had even designed. And he came down and mowed it for us several times during the week personally. I mean,
he loves to ride it. Yeah, it's just got as many parallel mower heads on it as you can stack up. They're all hydraulically driven.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. And he puts it down to like I think it's the asphalt setting, you know, not the putting green setting. It's the asphalt setting.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you could take your plane and crank it up and roll it around on the wheels for a full tank if you wanted to out there.
That thing is so beautiful. One of my favorite places to fly.
Let's see. I got somebody asking questions in the chat box. Says Bob. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I got to let Steve Hines in. I don't have to, but I'm going to.
Yeah. 1 minute.
Hey, Steve Verino, what's going on? Oh, you got your mic muted, buddy. There you go.
If you wouldn't have let me in, I'd have went and got my helmet out of the ground.
I can't.
Yeah. Let's see. Somebody's asking me a question. Rusty, how do you spell your last name from my address book? Okay, R.W. Bishop. Bob, my last name is spelled Knowlton, like Knowlton, only Knowlton.
I can't hear Steve.
You can't hear me at all, Bob?
Still not hearing him? Oh, my goodness.
Want me to go out and come back in again? See if I can.
I'm not sure which one of you needs to. This is a problem that's fairly new. In fact, it started that night when we were having such a horrible time a couple of weeks ago. Try it and see if that helps.
Yeah. All right.
You want to try real quick, Bob?
Hang on, Steve. Let's see what happens when Bob resets, and if that doesn't do it, then we'll get to you. Okay. Meanwhile, let's see. I had asked Bob Bishop and Jack Snavely and Jeff Riley. Okay, Jeff Riley sent me his email, so that'll do. Okay, so anybody that hasn't sent me their email, please, please do, and that way I can contact you. And here comes Bob again. In just a moment. And okay, Bob's back in. Say something, Steve.
Hey, can you hear me now, Bob?
Can hear you now.
Excellent. I hope that doesn't keep happening.
Well, I just keep coming back in. Apparently, it started that night I came back in for the first time in a long time. Maybe there's something changed in my settings or something.
It started before you got here, so I don't think it's related to you, Bob. That was a bad night, and we're developing new glitches as we go along. You know, Google and YouTube are talking about phasing out this Hangout, and they're not supporting it technically anymore. And I don't know if it's by design or just as a result of lack of support, but it's getting more and more difficult. I'm having to reboot and restart it several times before I actually get the show started. So we might have to find an alternate way to do this.
The video resolution is not as good as it used to be either.
Oh.
Yeah, it comes and goes. Oh, Winter Sportster. This is my buddy. I think this is, oops, he disappeared. Oh, there he is. Hang on just a second. And I believe this is Kim.
I was going to say, Bob, it's probably the CIA trying to find out about your new timer.
There we go. Hey, Kim. All right, man. What's going on? All the way from Missouri. And I can't hear Kim. Oh, let me see. Your microphone is red, Kim. Let me see if I can fix that. More microphone problems.
In there for a quick second.
Can anybody? Hey, Kim, say
hey guys.
1, 2, 3.
I can hear them now.
1, 2, 8, 7.
I can't.
Okay, we're good now.
I can't hear him. So
You can't hear them either, Bob? Jeez.
I hear you.
let me try going back out again and come back in and see if it works that way. Hold on.
What's up, Kim?
Oh, not much, man.
Man, I'm
How
glad
you guys
to have you
doing?
here. Hey, you got a pretty good connection. They must have put a pretty good cable in your neighborhood.
I have been dragged into the 21st century.
Congratulations. Welcome to the 21st century.
Well, thank you. I'm going to turn up my volume a little bit here.
Yeah.
How you
in
looking?
fact,
Do what?
yeah, I turned all the way up on this end too. Okay,
Yeah.
here comes Bob. Let me let Bob back in. And showing broadcast. This is getting to be a juggling act. Okay, Bob. Can anybody not hear anybody else? We'll find out in a moment.
Whoa, Bob. Got that one. Say something, Ken.
Hey, hey.
Yep, got you now.
All
Wow.
right.
Crazy. Once you sign back in, you get.
Yeah. Weird.
That's so strange.
And we just got a super chat donation. I appreciate that from Jamie Holford. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate that. It bolsters Sparky's coffers a little bit, and it also helps my hobby budget, and that's even better.
Hey, by the way, how many people got their calendars? I got mine.
Some of us have got them. Yeah, I got mine right here. Charles Carter in May.
There you go.
And how you like it?
It's great. It's wonderful.
We haven't sent all the rest of them out yet, but anybody that hasn't got one will be getting it.
Very nice job.
Yeah, I like the way it fits in the CD case. That's pretty nifty.
Very professional.
And if you flip the page over, it's got bigger calendar on the back side where you can write notes on it.
Yeah. Did a great job.
Okay, let's see. Bob Bishop. No, Bob, either email will do. I use both of them the same. One of them is the one I give people that might spam me, but I'll read both of them every time I log in. So either email. Oh, Jamie says, I wish I wouldn't have forgot to send pics for that calendar. Well, Jamie, if we've got any extras, then I'll make sure you get one. Here comes Rich Imhoff, or do we say I'm off? There you go. Good evening, Rich.
How you doing?
I'm good.
I can't hear.
Everybody, just chilling out.
Yep. Been playing with the dagger all day long.
I can't hear.
That's just so crazy, Bob. That
Weird.
I wish there was something I could do to help, Bob.
Hey,
So did you say you've been playing with the dagger or flying the dagger?
No, it's sitting here doing all the covering on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what are you covering it with?
Chinese monocoat.
China coat. Okay.
Yeah, it's all start assembling tomorrow.
Hey, so we got Winter Sportster is Kim from Missouri. Let me give you a quick little tutorial, Kim.
Okay.
If somebody is holding up something in front of their hang on, let me let Bob back in. If somebody's holding something up in front of their camera that you want to see in a big screen, all you've got to do is, if you're on a computer with a mouse,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to let Bob in. If you're on a computer, there we go. If you're on a computer with a mouse, then you can mouse over their little picture and the film strip at the bottom and
Gotcha.
click once, and it'll
I'm
be
not
surrounded
hearing
by a white
Rusty
border.
anymore.
And then
Okay.
it'll get big until you click it again.
Oh,
You can't
cool.
hear me, Bob?
can you hear me? Oh,
Bob or me?
I think Bob cannot hear me
I
now.
can't hear. I'm going to go out again.
Okay. This is absurd. I don't know if we've got cross-platform issues with Apple. Bob's on an Apple computer. You're on a Windows computer, aren't you, Kim?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here comes Sparky now. And you're in, Sparky.
That's like with Google Chrome.
Yeah, Chrome is the best. Chrome is the best browser to use.
Bob comes back. Let's find out if he's using Chrome.
Here's Bob now. I'm about to let him back in for the umpteenth time. Okay, can you hear me now, Bob? Can you hear me, Bob?
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
can hear you.
I can only hear a few people here. I can't hear everybody. I can hear Rich.
Are you using Google Chrome?
I can hear Sparky.
Somebody asked him if he's using Chrome for his browser.
You guys have a good time. I'm gonna hit the stack.
Okay, I'm
Bye.
sorry, Bob.
Yeah, we should have asked him quick.
Yeah, well, if anybody's in touch, well, I can PM him and ask him about that because I don't want this to drive him away from us. Anyway, so hey, Sparky, what's going on?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah, we got a new member tonight. Kim Stricker from Missouri is joining us. He's one of my Cox Engine Forum buddies.
Hey, guys.
Whereabouts in Missouri?
Jackson, Missouri, just outside of Cape Girardeau,
Yeah,
about 100 miles south of St. Louis.
that's where I'm from.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Lafayette Escadrille.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We go up to Booter Park every little once in a while. Our club does. Great bunch of guys.
Yeah, I'm not there now. I live there, but I work in Dayton.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You got more painting planned for tonight? I mean, tonight, this weekend, Rusty?
Got well, sorry, Steve, I drifted off. What was the question? Am I doing what?
Oh, I meant Sparky. Is he gonna do more painting?
I'm gonna be painting on my Monado to get it ready.
What day are you going to head for South Carolina?
Thursday.
Okay.
Well, you got to put a little more clear on your Monado, or?
I'm gonna sand off one of the elevators, reshoot the red, and put some more clear on it.
Oh, okay.
Didn't come out quite as perfect as I wanted. Can still see some sanding scratches in it, so that's the one. That's the one that bubbled up when I put it on the heat lamp.
Oh, okay.
Well, we don't do any appearance points at Triple Tree. Now, at
But-
Huntersville, we're starting to do a pilot's choice type of appearance points, but well, not points, but just voting on the best plane. But it's not really the same thing.
There is going to be one at Triple Tree.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's new then. I didn't know that.
That's cool.
Well, if they give awards for the ugliest plane, I might win that. Because I got a old plane. It's a great plane, but the paint's peeling and it looks like hell on wheels, hell on wings. But it flies good.
I'm going to try to fly tomorrow too. I put the aluminum spinner back on it because I think it needed a little bit of nose weight. Well, I'm going to fly it and see. If it doesn't, I'll put the carbon one back on it.
Yeah.
It's only a half-ounce difference.
Yeah, well, when you're getting close, little small amounts of weight make just the perfect amount of difference sometimes.
Yeah, now it'll be trimming it all back in again. Maybe I'll get some flying time on it and be able to get it all trimmed back the way you like it. And
I flew it Tuesday night, and the wind was kind of blustery. It's hard to really get a read on what's going on when the wind's blustery. And it's a high aspect ratio wing, so the wing's buffeting quite a bit, so couldn't get a read on that. One thing I like about the Junar series airplanes, it's short, fat wing.
yeah, usually they're pretty good in the, I don't know, bad air or whatever when it's like that. So that's like hers, because basically that's all hers is a Junar wing.
58-inch wingspan instead of 64.
Pardon me?
The Junar is 58 and the Monado is 64.
Oh, same wing, just a little bit bigger.
No, the Monado wing is the Geobolt wing.
Oh, okay.
It's basically a streamlined Thunderbolt.
Well, that's what the guy there from California, Dave Fitzgerald. That's a Geobolt wing too. That's just cut down some, I guess.
No, I don't think so.
He said that's why it's called a Thunder Gazer, was because it was a wing off the Thunderbolt.
Huh. I think the same wing as mine.
A Stargazer. And then he went to Thunder Gazer. And it's a cut down Thunderbolt wing, just 630 square inches or 625 or whatever it is.
What are you typing there, Rusty?
I was telling Kim to unmute his mic, but
He did.
you can mouse up to the top of the video. There you go. Got it.
Okay. I didn't know I muted it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, well, you went out and came back in. Every time you come back in, I have to approve you, and you have to manually start your mic back up.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't want to break up the flow of the conversation, guys.
That's okay. This, by the way, only one person can talk at a time, and that's who gets the main window, is whoever makes the most noise. So you kind of got to get the hang of not stepping on each other and looking to see if anybody's trying to work in so they can get a word in edgewise.
But if you got to step out or something happens, you can mute your mic and leave, wave goodbye. We all do that. Head off,
Yeah.
come back.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not without glitches. I was telling Bob, YouTube and Google have been talking for some time about phasing out this Hangouts, and they've quit any kind of support for it. So as glitches develop, they don't get fixed, and it's getting more and more difficult to start the show and keep it going. And we had things like what was going on with Bob Hunt tonight, where every time somebody new came in, he couldn't hear them, and so he finally gave up and left. And I don't want that happening. So I might see if I can search out an answer for why that's happening.
So why is Google and YouTube getting out of the Hangouts? They can't make enough money off it, or
I don't know.
information?
I don't know. Sparky might know more about it than me. I know, they've announced that it's going to disappear, and then it stays. And so we just keep hanging in there.
You heard anything about it? Why, Sparky?
No, I'm just surprised that we still got it.
When it works well, it really works, but then some nights are hair pulling with glitches. But we got good audio tonight.
Yeah.
Now, if we can just get some conversations going, that's another thing. This usually takes us a while. Usually once the show's been on for about an hour, everybody loosens up and we start getting some good conversations going. Sometimes it's a little strained at first. Let's see. Ken Cook says, I have this engine and I've started a project but need to finish it. What engine you talking about? Oh, yeah, what engine you talking about, Kim? Ken?
You talking to me?
I'm talking to Ken Cook. He's over on the
Okay.
YouTube chat box.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that chat box is on the Stunthangar YouTube homepage next to the video. If you have access, if you got that page open, you can see what everybody's posting. We got 13 people over there right now. A Super Tiger 15. That's what Ken's working on. Oh, he says it's Kim's engine. You know anything about that, Kim?
Well, yeah, I'd send it to him a while back. I told him he could keep it. Get a lot more run out of it than I would.
Yeah, it reminds me, I need to get my Conquest and Steve's TD09 somewhere where I won't forget them when I come to Triple Tree, because I'm gonna pass them off to Sparky, and he can bring you the TD at Brodak, Steve.
That sounds good.
If anybody is going to be seeing Charles Carter, I got something for him, but I don't know if anybody is going to cross paths with somebody that can get that engine to him or not.
Yeah, I'm taking him to the nets.
Okay, well, I'll give you his little half a Norvell fuel tank then.
He's flying to see his mother-in-law, and I'm picking him up and taking him to Muncie.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, that'll work out good. We can finally get all of these parts I've promised to their rightful owners. I was so bad about getting to the post office and mailing things that I talked about sending things and never did fulfill my promises. So what are you going to, I wonder what Ken's planning on using that Super Tiger 15 for. Have you got a plane for it, Ken Cook? We need to get Kim a microphone and a camera. Y'all forgive me if I mix up the words Kim and Ken.
Yeah, that was my, as long as I know which one is which.
I'm not sure what I said sometimes either. Oh, let's see. No, nothing. He doesn't have any special plans for it. 15 speed plane just for fun.
Does that Conquest turn up high RPMs?
It'll turn well over 20K, I think. I'm not sure what size prop. Probably an eight something, I would guess. In fact, it's got a prop on it. I'll send it with whatever prop it's got on it, because I think it came with it.
It got a rear exhaust on it. And
That's right.
what did they do with that? Was that a speed engine? A team
Yep.
race?
Speed and pylon. Give me an RC version of it. My
Yeah.
purchase with a 6.5, 6 prop will turn 24,000.
Oh, really? Okay. That's a little smaller than I was expecting, but yeah, that makes sense.
Well, an 8-inch prop goes on a 35, a G21 35.
Yeah, okay then. Yeah, but I've heard that's a really powerful engine. I've never even cranked it. I bought it from Ron Cribbs a couple of years ago because I get on Cox Engine forums and see things and say, oh boy, I wish I had one of those. And one day Ron Cribbs ran across one and got it for me. And so I appreciate that. And then I never did find a use for it. So I'm going to send it to Sparky. Somebody that wants to use it, it belongs there instead of on my shelf. It's a beautiful engine though.
One, but I haven't done nothing with mine either, but I was always going to build a Perky and put it on a Perky, but haven't did it.
I might give it to Henry to breathe on.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, he can probably breathe some more life into it. It's got a control line Venturi on it. I don't know if it's the stock CL Venturi or not. It looks like it probably is.
Yeah, they were a sprinkler and they took pressure.
Yeah.
Is that rear Venturi or front Venturi?
Front. Ken says the problem with rear exhaust on the foamies is they like to melt your lead edge. Yeah, I bet.
Well, let's be in a speed plane.
Yeah, those speed planes are for younger guys because that's too much for me. I watched David Smith flying them at Huntersville, and he's back on his heels with both hands flying those suckers.
What, you gonna try to fly some speed at the Nats, Sparky?
No, I'll fly it.
Need to build a perky. Perkies are getting real popular.
Perky's half A, right?
No, 15s.
Oh,
15 on suction. I think about 115 to 17, right in there.
what about the pressure for the Conquest? Do most people use backplate pressure or bladder pressure?
Bladder.
That's the simplest way to go.
Yeah, to run them in a perky, you got to make a new Venturi and change the needle valve because the needle valve's on the rear of the Venturi, so it's a sprinkler setup, and it won't. It's real hard to get them to draw fuel.
So what do? Put the Venturi in it and then drill it through the center?
Yeah. Yeah, just use the rear Venturi. The rear needle valve hole is a clamp.
Yeah, Super Tiger clamp work in it?
Yep.
Yeah, I got those parts.
Ken Cook says that Banjock Sean and he do a lot of control and a lot of combat, but Dan's in full-blown stunt mode now.
Yeah.
Don Jenkins going to be there at
I think so, and I hope so. I expect he will too, because the only reason he wasn't there in Huntersville is because of his daughter's graduation ceremony in Florida.
I had to get my squared away haircut.
Well, so I forgot. Banjock usually goes to Triple Tree, doesn't he?
No.
No, he usually comes to the October contest in Huntersville.
Oh, is that the one he comes down to?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, he's there almost every year. I think he missed last year, and I've seen him at just about every other one. I missed it the year before last because that was when I cracked my hip.
What'd your doctor say about your hip?
He said it doesn't look bad at all. He said that arthritis isn't very bad. It should just clear up. And it seems to be today a lot better, but the way it comes and goes, I never know from one day to the next. But I got a prescription I'm going to start on tomorrow that should help it out too. Said we're going to skip the shot. He said it's not worth the risk. He said that hip just does not look very bad. So I was happy to hear that. It hurts like hell. I would have sworn it was broken, but it's not.
He gave you a little Oxycontin, did he?
No. I'd take it if he gave it to me, but no, that'd make me that would incapacitate.
But your hip wouldn't hurt anymore.
No, it wouldn't. Or if it did, I'd be happy about it. Yeah, that stuff will put your face in the dirt. I've got all of that kind of stuff I need. I just need for this to clear up. Maybe I'll be able to fly at Triple Tree on my own two legs. That'll be probably at this late date. That'll be a stroke of luck, but I'll take it. It could happen. I don't have any endurance. Hey, I'll fly until I can't.
Yeah.
What about you, Kim? How are your old bones holding out?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, so far so good. I got a couple problems, but nothing to complain about really.
Good.
So getting ready for small, which it's not you guys' subject, but you know the small fly down at Little Rock's going to happen in about 3 weeks.
That always looks like so much fun. You always give us a great report on it too.
I have fun.
Hey, that is in our wheelhouse for discussion here. We don't have any brackets around what part of aeromodeling.
Okay.
If you want to talk aeromodeling, we take everything. I've been trying to recruit some carrier guys, but David Smith says he works the late shift and can't come in. So that was my best hope for a carrier guy coming in with us. I don't know who else.
Yeah. Well, it's rolling around toward us. I'm usually fairly exhausted when it's over, so it's a good time.
Ken Cook is asking if that is all control line, the small event, but it's everything. It's RC and control line, right?
It's everything. We had some guys with some beautiful rubber band powered models for flying last year. Free flight, a lot of little Cox skycopters and flying saucers and RC and everything. So, and they had a control line circle last year, but it was all the way on the other side of the field. And I'm hoping this year that I have it on the side with the radio control. There was a worry about a conflict, between the RC planes and the control liners.
Yeah.
But I've got a bunch of little half-A control liners I want to take, and I've got a moth attacking me. Got this little mini Mambo that I call Little Traveler and a bunch of other RCs. I might have a trailer load. Tony Curso is trying to break 100, his record for 100 half-A airplanes. So, but my rule is if I take them down there, I got to put at least one flight on them to make it legitimate. So it'll be a challenge.
You're going to take 100?
I won't be able to take 100, but I'll have about, well, if he counts the control liners, I'll have about 25. So, going to try to help him out. He's pretty enthusiastic about it. He loves half-A, and but that's my deal.
Yeah, that small looks like fun. You know what looks like fun is SIG contest or a fly-in. Is that still going on?
That's the next weekend, and if I'm not totally dead, I'm going to try to come home and recuperate and go to it. I skipped it last year. I was pretty ill. I think I got too warm down there, and the heat was really high, and so I didn't go to the SIG fly in. They have a control line fly in the next following weekend, but I didn't go to that one. I might do it this year. Depends on how I hold up. So.
When we used to go to the SIG contest, that was a great contest. When Mike Gretz and Mike Scott and there's one other Mike, he's on the board, designed the that was a good contest.
Yeah, I think they named the fly-in after Mike Gretz, I believe. I think they dedicated it to him.
Ken Cook's reminding us the Philly guys are having a half-A day next Sunday. Looking forward to that. Ours is in September at Huntersville. And Doug Barright, also known as Gus the IA on Cox Engine Forums, has joined us. Hey, good evening, Doug. Good to see you. You can come in live if you like. We miss you. Griffin. Doug Barright says, Mike Griffin?
No, it's the guy who designed the Magnum. God, I know him too. He's on the on our forum.
I'd recognize the name if I heard it, but I can't help it.
Real quick, I'll find it for you. Church members.
Who was the guy that was always coming in? He lived in Kansas.
Jackson Everett from Kansas.
We haven't seen him since they had all the bad flooding and all that down there.
Mike Pratt.
There we go, Mike Pratt.
Yeah. Thanks, Doug Barright. And I'm just letting in Tryon. Hey, Tryon, how you doing tonight?
Oh, Mike Pratt did the Magnum. I didn't know Pratt did the Magnum.
Yeah, he's the designer of the Magnum.
Because he's known for that other one, that unflapped one.
Magnum Force.
Oh, the Force. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the Magnum Force came out after his Magnum.
Hey guys, I have a question. Did you guys ever went to Joanol?
I have. I think Rusty has.
Yeah.
Mm. Is there a place? I mean, can you put your tent anywhere in there, or?
They've got a camping area set aside, and when you register, you probably need to get on the website and register so you can have a slot waiting for you.
I already registered,
Okay.
but I think the campsites are the ones with the hookups for the RVs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
that's
the other
not-
ones you can probably camp wherever you want to.
I guess
from what I
so.
understand.
It looks like it to me because all up and down the road where people just park, I see them with tents set up behind their trucks.
Bob Zambelli camps right at the circle.
That's right, he does. Yeah, come to think of it, so does Will Davis. He just pulls his trailer up right under the control tower and by the control line circles.
We're bringing an RV. We're just going to pull up next to the control line.
Yeah. Yeah, try, and you can put a tent up right down there at the control line circles,
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
right in front of where you park the truck or car.
Perfect. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do.
When are you gonna get there?
Friday.
Good. Okay. I'll see you Saturday then.
Yeah, I got my boy coming with me too, so
Oh, cool.
this should be fine. Hopefully, I get to finish his first control line plane by then. Yep, which is gonna be a twister. So electric twister. So
You made a molded electric twister already?
yeah, I'm gonna make him a molded electric twister.
Kim, you need to put Joe Knoll on your travel bucket list.
Yeah, I've had it a couple of times where I thought I could get there and it got canceled out each time, but I hope to make it someday.
Won't believe it.
I'm
Doug
sorry?
Wright says he finished his little duper zilch finally and put pictures of it on Facebook, and it started quite a ruckus.
Hmm.
That was right. Oh, look who's here. It says Mike Myers, but I know better. That is our buddy from Cox Engine Forum, Mark. And let me let him in. Hey, Marco.
Turn on
You
his
got your
mic.
mic muted. You got to unmute your mic. There you go.
How y'all doing?
We're good. How you doing?
Doing not too bad.
Hadn't seen you in a long time. Missed you.
Well, I finally put in a new router this morning, so now it shouldn't lag everybody.
Excellent. So what you got on the board? I know you got something interesting going on.
Actually, tonight is mostly just cleaning up my big mess here on my build table. Then I'll start working on the plane for the 2019 Run What You Brung.
Did you ever do any more refinements on your control line simulator?
No, it's about where I like having it. I've fixed all my basic problems, so I just leave it as it is now.
Yeah, that was a fun little project.
Yeah, maybe I'll do an update on it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it'd be good for another show and tell. It's been so long, some of these people had never seen it.
Yeah, you'll have to educate me a little, and then we'll do that maybe next time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I seen on the forum that Tom Nabor died.
Oh. I never met him, but it's a name I know well from Stunthangar. Is it? Yeah. I keep wanting to say Tim, but it's Tom, I guess.
Yeah, he was nice. He was a nice guy. He was redoing John DeTavio's, like the last plane he designed it. It was like a JD Falcon, but it looked like a jet. And he was redoing it. But never heard more about it. He had all the covering stripped off, and he was redoing fillets and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I thought that was going to go in a museum, but I don't know for sure. Now what'll happen to it? But yeah, 'cause Tom, what Sparky? What was the model company? He had blue. Was a blue something?
Yeah, blue something or other. I can't remember.
I go. I got one of the kits. Well, I don't. Samantha does.
So, Sparky, now that you flew your new quote unquote old plane, how do you like it?
Much better.
Much better. What was wrong with it?
The elevators weren't big enough.
Oh, so you just changed the elevators?
Yeah,
So you have new elevators now, right?
yeah, twice as big.
Okay.
They're about an inch bigger all the way around.
Did you just patch it up or just put a new one?
I cut them off and put new ones on.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Good. Good. I was watching your video last time I was here.
Oh yeah, that's right. When we were on the show last time, I had not seen the video, but I went and watched it afterwards. Yeah. Pretty snappy.
I was watching it during the as we were having the meeting here.
It was choppy.
Yeah, it didn't. Those videos just don't translate well over the internet connection, over the video.
That's why I watch it directly from the YouTube. I went on the YouTube to watch it directly. It was much better.
YouTube has gotten a lot better. For a long time, YouTube was some pretty sad rendering of videos, but they've gotten to where high def is great. Computers now can handle the bandwidth where, back when YouTube was just getting started, nobody had enough power to really use YouTube to its fullest potential.
Yeah, the yeah. Okay. I'm with a group here, having a little chit chat. I'm with a group here, having a little chit chat.
Tell her to get in front of the screen. We'll all wave at her.
Just what every wife wants is to stand in front of a bunch of geezers talking about model airplanes, and well, some of them do. We got some flying wives in this group.
Yeah.
Gerald's wife and somebody else. I can't remember who. There were some flying women at Huntersville last weekend.
Those are all fortunate men.
Fred, and I can't remember his last name. Mike had to tell me Monday night. His wife flies. She helped me carry my gear. Like a lot of other people had to help carry my gear around. I appreciated that.
Naomi flies too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
As I said, fortunate guys.
Yeah. Well, I'm fortunate. My wife supports me and looks out for me.
She does look out after you. It was nice to meet her.
Yeah, she enjoys getting up there and meeting all of you guys.
Yeah, she's a very nice lady.
I wish she could have gotten somebody to help her tabulating because she likes to mingle with the crowd and walk around and watch different events, but she wasn't able to get out from behind the table all weekend.
Maybe we should get that whoever organizes it to get her some help
Yeah.
next time around.
Well, yeah, that, Will Davis was having a hard time in the preliminary stages of organizing this year because he was in the hospital and sick. And so, next time he'll probably be able to have more resources. We're lucky, that we got judges that'll come from a long way away just to do judge, and we appreciate that because, like Will said, without those judges, it would just be a fun fly.
Yeah. You know what we could probably do? It just kind of dawned to me. Get one of your competitors to tabulate them for you.
Yeah.
So I tabulate my own scores, but they might change.
That might be a conflict of interest. Not that you're not an honest person, but
Hey, and then you could judge your own flight from inside the circle.
yeah,
That's
that's a great idea. We ought to submit that to Pampa.
No, but here's the deal. When I was flying gliders, you had a timer, and the timer's job was to keep the time and write the scores down. And at the end of the score, he would sign it, and you would sign it too at the same time. So if you turn in your score sheet your times for that round, and it's not signed up, they're just considered just a zero, right? Anyways, but it's like on an honor system where competitors help other competitors, basically. So I'm timing for other guys, when they're flying, they're timing for me when I'm flying, and so on and so forth, So like the same thing is like I just flew my flight. I give my scores to to Sparky. I pay him $100 to give me a few extra points, and we're fine with that. But
yeah, somebody that's already flown around could tabulate for a little while or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, just and after that, he tabulates the scores. He signs the sheet, and then I'm looking at my sheet and I can tabulate it myself. I double check if I'm happy with it. I sign the sheet, and we turn it in. That's it.
Maybe you get a free lunch if you do a half hour or an hour tabulating.
Yeah, somebody's awake. It's lunch is over.
Oh.
What you got there, Mark?
This is something I decided to try. All my crashing has been done when I've been trying to go into inverted, so I just built a plane that I can fly either way.
Reversible airplane. You need to put control lead outs on both sides, on both wings too.
No, they're just fun.
We've had other people try that. If you put wheels on the top of your airplane, it doesn't help you fly inverted any better.
Actually, I'm flying in grass, so it doesn't matter if I have wheels or not. But I actually did pretty good when I tried the first time last week. Now I just do it with the bigger planes. I'll be happy.
You just have somebody launch for you inverted, or?
Yeah, I just have them launch clockwise instead of counterclockwise and go from there.
Yeah, that's what I did with Samantha. We fly one flight normal, next flight I launch inverter for it. We go back and forth. So you flew 4 flights, 2 and 2.
Well, there you go. It's proof it works.
I'm pretty sure that would be confusing for me, but in the long run, it would probably hone my skills, but I might make some splinters in the meantime.
Well, what it was is that a lot of times the airplane it didn't want to loop good. That, so she had to bring it up so high to try to get it on his back. And then, so I just started launching it upside down and off she went.
My problem was whenever I go into the loop and I try and even out inverted, I just keep going into the ground.
Well, when we first started doing that, once in a while I would go into the ground on a launch.
Figure 9.
Yeah, figure 9.
Yeah.
You can only do one of those though.
I've had a couple of those flying wings and half-a flying wings, like a scientific combat and a flatter plane that I built, and they are so squirrely when you launch them that sometimes they end up flipping over upside down, and I've ended up having to fly the first lap inverted to come around back in against the wind and flip it back over the right way. That was pretty funny. I got a lot of laughs at one of our meetings when I flew like that. Wayne let go of the plane and he had to dive out of the way because the next thing it went straight up and fluttered and fell over backwards, and I just pulled back on the lines and kept it in the air and flew inverted for the first lap.
Well, I was gonna, you guys know, I just got my scalpel and stuff off of eBay and 100 blades. But when I went on there, it gave me a $5 gift deal. So this was $7.95 with free shipping. Once I got done, I got it for $2.95, 100 blades and a knife.
Mm.
And the little coupon was good till the 13th. So I don't know if that's the first time I ever used a coupon on eBay. I don't know why you get them or what, but it was on there. Yeah, 'cause when I was in Florida last year, my uncle, my other scalpel and blades that Dick gave me because they go catfish hunting all the time and they're always skinning them catfish. And he wanted some blades, and his scalpel was dull, but it was one that had the blade molded right into the handle. But yeah, so there's a $5 coupon. So if anybody, look in there, scalpel blades for.
Those are thinner than X-Acto blades, aren't they?
Yeah, they're so much sharper. When Dick gave me that well over a year ago, I couldn't believe how sharp they are.
How flexible are they?
Yeah, you can break them pretty easy if you lean on them.
Hard. I think just because they're thinner, but they're so much sharper.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure I need anything sharper.
You can cut cross grain. Like right now, I'm cutting out. I'm doing lost foam wing.
Yeah.
And you can come around cross grain on the tip, and they're so sharp it'll go cross grain for you.
Cutting cap strips and that kind of stuff are just ideal.
Yeah, they're really nice.
I just bought a pack of 100 number 11s, but I might get some of those scalpel blades too. Will the scalpel blades fit an X-Acto handle?
No.
You can lock them in there. They don't fit the greatest, but
That's okay. I can get a scalpel handle. Might as well order one of them too.
They give you a free one.
yeah, they give you a free handle.
Okay.
The one thing nice about it, they don't roll.
Yeah. On all my X-Acto blades, I put a zip tie around them so it's got the little bump that keeps it from rolling.
Yeah, Samantha's got a couple Dick made up. He made some X-Acto handles that won't roll.
What do you mean by rolling?
Pardon me?
Lay it on the table and it rolls off into your lap until you slam your legs together to try to catch it, which is not a good idea.
Got it.
I mean, a bunch of handles out of hex stock, aluminum hex, and they don't roll.
I color code my zip ties too, so I can keep track of which blade's the sharpest one. Not that it's always the same color, but I can kind of remember. So I got your scut work blade, and I got your fine work blade, and I got your medium sharp blade. I got about 5 X-Acto knives going at any one time.
Yeah.
I kind of like them when they roll off, and then they roll off and then go like, doop.
Straight down, yeah. And I've dropped one all the way through a wing before, of course.
Oh yeah. Yep.
The plane wouldn't be complete if it didn't have a hole in the wing where I dropped a screwdriver through it or an X-Acto knife, and usually they've got a little blood in them somewhere too.
All my planes are bloody somewhere for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
I
think
haven't had one plane that was not bloody anywhere. Didn't happen. If it's
What?
not bloody, it's not a plane.
Well, let's see the fuselage, Dick. Did you get the fuselage done on the?
Yeah, I got the tank mounted and everything fitted. Engines in it. She's ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Slide the wing in, and they got a big 1 3/4 needle nose spinner goes on it.
Let's see the top. What does the top look like with the? You got the canopy to go on yet, or? Oh yeah, that's good. That looks great.
Yeah, I'd say it looks like a stiletto when it's all done.
I like the canopy style.
Yeah, it's just a thin strip, you know, but shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like say,
You're gonna be flying tomorrow?
wings done.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
Oh, the dagger, man, that looks good.
Yeah, just cut out some clip art on my vinyl cutter.
Nice.
You sure are moving along with that one?
Yeah, like I say, it's tomorrow. I'll start assembling. I put the wing in, and then you got to set up the push rod for the elevator, and it's the push rod's it just ain't cut the length yet. I got to do the back half, but can't do that till I get the wing in it, and then I can set the tail feather. Today I've been piddling around with half A's most of the day. We got that EDM Saturday, next Saturday.
You gonna fly tomorrow, Dick?
Gonna try, yeah. Wind doesn't look too bad. Wind says about 10. It's only supposed to be 50, 55.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I don't know how my back's gonna feel tomorrow. I had it feeling pretty good, and I had to go in for the DOT physical for work, and they make you do a strength deal,
Oh, yeah.
and I knew it was gonna kind of hurt it, and I'm like, damn, I hope I can make it through the physical because it was hurting some, and I made it through all that. I'll be damned they didn't pull my medical because of my blood pressure and my sugar level. So I no longer can drive semi.
Oh, big deal.
But I know I gotta go to the doctor and find out why all of a sudden my blood pressure's high and elevated glucose level in my blood.
They didn't take your CDL though, right?
Now I still got my CDL. I just can't legally drive without that medical. Insurance purposes and stuff. If I owned my own tractor trailer or whatever and I didn't have insurance, I could still drive. But
Hey, Kim, are you still working part-time out at the airport at Cape Girardeau?
No, I'm fully retired. I'm on their payroll so that they can call me in. I am volunteering for the air show next week. We got the Blue Angels, and it's a big deal. So I'm going to work 3 days. I'll be a tired dog when that's over.
Oh, that sounds like a good way to get tired, though. Sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna be driving the veteran wagon. I'm hauling the veterans around. What I understand, probably several other things too.
Yeah. I always enjoyed that thread on the ramp. That's probably the longest thread at Cox Engine for them on the ramp now. And
There's a few posts on it. Yeah.
yeah, and Kim used to post all of the eclectic planes that would come flying through to pick up fuel and coffee and get back in the air. He had some good stories.
I've lost a lot of my spies. Several of the kids that work down there would call me when something comes in, and most of those guys are gone. So it's kind of like just a happenstance if I get down there.
Yeah.
But I've been called before that one day I was called and there was a Mustang and a Spitfire sitting on the ramp. I about spilled coffee all over myself trying to get up and get away from the computer and get down the road. And
did you get there?
I think I posted those.
Did you get there in time?
Oh yeah, yeah. If you go down through the thread, they're down in there. I think I posted some pictures of Beth. We were seeing each other at the time. She was posing by them, and I thought before we were done, she was going to talk her way into one. I'd end up following her on the highway to catch up with her, but it didn't happen. But yeah, it was a Griffin powered Mustang. I'm not sure what, or Griffin powered Spitfire, and a P-51D Mustang. And so they're in the thread there somewhere.
I probably have seen it, but yeah, I'll go back and browse through it and see if I see that.
Yeah, it's I still got people that call me once in a while, but a lot of my old buds are headed out in separate directions.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
You want to make them happy? Just cancel the landing clearance with the Blue Angels. Everybody's going to be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't cancel anything with the Blue Angels. Everybody kisses their butts. So we had the Canadian Snowbirds several times, and which the Angels aren't bad guys, but they got these enormous egos, and the Canadian Snowbirds are kind of like regular guys.
Mm-hmm.
And we like having both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But
awesome.
I'm going to be posting pictures of that plywood F-18 I built a while back. We had in Canadian markings, and a couple people at the airport are repainting it in Blue Angel colors. So I kind of snuck out of that project.
Have you still got your I forget what it is, your experimental airplane?
Yeah, I was working on it today. It's when I'm here, I call it a Pete and Paul. When I'm up at the Pete and Paul reunion, I call it a Grega. A fellow named John Grega took the design in the early 60s and changed it around to use Piper Cub fittings and things like that. So it's a Pete and Paul when I'm not around the Pete and Paul experts. So I did some work on it today. So
I noticed looking at the pictures of a Pete and Paul fly-in, and more of them than not had an exhaust pipe that runs all the way down the side of the plane and exits out the back. And I thought that was odd.
There were a couple.
So what?
More or less just for the aesthetic part of it. The Ford powered ones typically have stub exhaust coming right out of the side of the Model A engine. And but we've got a couple of them that are guys kind of show their artistic side, and that one was very, I don't really know the word for it, but very maybe like steampunk or something like that. It was a beautiful airplane, but he had that long pipe going down the side. The Model A ones typically have this very short exhaust, though, and mine just has an A65 Continental on the front of it. When we get all of it back together, so
you gotta show it to us.
I never
I'm
thought
sorry?
about it. If you're going to do a steampunk plane, the Pete and Paul, either Air Camper or Scout, would probably be the best thing for it.
Yeah,
show us some
we've had a
pictures of
couple
it
of
or
scouts
something.
show up.
Yeah, so show us some pictures of it, something.
Oh,
love
show
to
you a
see them.
picture?
Yeah, I'd love to see them.
That Pete
I don't know how to do it with a computer.
airplane that used a Model A engine?
Yes, the original Pete and Pauls were designed for Model A engines.
Yeah.
I don't know how to go to a picture on this thing.
So
Let's see. It's not difficult. Let me show you where the screen share button is. If you will mouse over to the left edge of your video window,
Okay,
and there's a green box with an arrow in it,
got it.
and you click screen share. Okay. Now, before you do that, go ahead and open the folder with the pictures in it that you want, and open a picture in your favorite, whatever you used to look at pictures at. Then
Okay,
bring the video screen back to the front where you can click on that green box and arrow, and then you will have a couple of tabs. It says your entire screen or application window. You'll choose application window, and it'll give you a list of all the windows that you've got open, and then including the one with the picture in it, and just click on that picture and click share. And then
okay,
on your video editor, you can use its right and left arrow to click through pictures if they're all next to each other.
okay. I'll tell you, I'm gonna have to go get the drive that it's on, though. I'll be right back.
Okay.
do any of you
I
have
got a YouTube page going in the background. I'll ask him when he comes back.
We
do
got
any of you have the instructions from a Vector 40 kit?
Not me.
I can look and see if I still have it.
There's one right there on the couch.
Oh, Leonard Burrell just joined us on YouTube. Hi, Lynn. Yeah, I like Leonard. He's a pretty cool guy. Come on in with us, Lynn.
Well, no, Rusty, compared to you, everyone's a cool guy.
Oh,
Compared to me, everybody's cool.
pick on Rusty night tonight.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
I was looking at now I have a Vector 40 kit that I want to start building it after I'm done with the twister, and but the problem I have with it is that, you know, it's like some things about the wing construction are kind of odd, because the wing doesn't have any you know, just a little bit different construction technique to it, and also I don't see a way to put it on rods or align it so it's nice and straight. So that's the biggest question for it.
Holes in it. You can't use rods.
Oh, they've never changed that, huh?
No, they didn't change it. The kid I got, I was hoping they set it up for rods, but they didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Legacy, they changed that one around and set it up for rods.
Yep.
Yeah, that one on the they give you two pieces of balsa, like 3/8 by half or something like that, and the ends are painted black.
Yeah.
And that sets down and it shows you on the plan where to pin that to.
Mm-hmm.
And then you pin on your spar, pin that down, and then just set all of your ribs onto that. So in the front it sets on the spar, and on the back it sets on that little bridge or whatever, and that sets it level.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start gluing them in. I use
I got the book somewhere, but I can't find it.
I was at a place. I got a little teeny square that's made out of metal and wide, and I just set it down on there and bring it up to the rib, set it in place, and 2 little spots of CA, and then move on to the next rib.
Mm-hmm.
They come out pretty good. I mean,
Okay. So long story short, you have to hack something up.
Yep.
Okay, I thought there was something smarter than that I'm missing or something like that. That would be in the instructions, but as for the elevator, it seems like the elevator is just three big chunks of balsa wood. I mean, it's that's it, or
Yeah, we have extra ones if you'd like them.
I can see Kim scrolling through his folders there.
Oh, you guys can see that?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not interfering, is it?
No.
Okay.
But I do a built up, fully sheeted elevators for them.
Mhm.
The original ones, they were, they take that big piece and then you draw on your openings or whatever and just start carving all that out of there.
Mhm.
And then put in your spars. And then you can shape it if you want to open bay.
Mhm.
But I usually do mine build up and then sheet it with 16th.
So you say just best just to build them up and just call it a day.
Doug Barright says he built a Vector 40 that had die cut ribs. He said building a wing was no problem at all, so don't be scared of it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not scared of it, but it's just I thought maybe that Brodak and the kit had something built into it that I don't know of and I don't see it yet. That's
Yeah.
all.
Look for that piece of wood with the black paint on it, and that'll and you'll see right on the plan where you pin that down.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Glue it down depending on what kind of building board you use or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mike Lanke just came. Let Mike in.
It's up to you. You can take if you got, and I've done it. The first one, drilled a hole in there and got on a scroll saw and scroll sawed all that out, and then put ribs in it.
Okay, Kim, I'm going to present this to everybody.
Okay.
Kim is okay. Everybody should have Kim's pit now.
This is a Corvair
Nice.
powered. Yeah, it's a Corvair powered Pete. He's got the cowling off doing engine runs, but it's actually a Corvair car engine.
This is not yours. This is somebody else, right?
No, this up at the fly in. I'll get over to mine. Looks kind of rough right now, but I'll bring a picture up of it. But
that looks
get
cool.
back. I haven't looked at these in a while, so I'm trying to find the main part of the goings on.
Now, do they make a Pete and pole with a low wing?
I can't do that. Man.
Excuse me?
Do they make a Pete and pole with a low wing?
I haven't figured out how to do it.
With a what kind of
With
wing?
a metal wing?
Low.
Oh, a low wing.
Not a high.
No, not that I know of. Now, that's a Ford-powered Pete and Paul with a Model A engine. That's a Model A car they bring out. They have the guys come out, the collectors show their cars alongside the planes.
Oh, that explains it. I wondered why we had planes and cars combined when I was looking at it fly-in.
Now they had the Model A club come out, and put on displays. This one is Lycoming powered, and there's the Ford powered one. It's another angle.
You can buy a car like that for like $15,000.
You use culvert props?
You what?
Do you use culvert propellers?
I don't know. I've got a Sensenich on mine, but some of the guys carve their own. There's a couple of companies they get from them.
Well, Culver is right down there where you live.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
It's a 30-year-old gal that makes them. And she does a great job.
And there's some of the get-togethers. This is the reunion at Broadhead, Wisconsin. And we have visitors come in other aircraft.
Sacrilege.
That's the updated version.
Yeah, there
right.
you go. There's an Aranca C2, I think. I'm not sure.
Some kind of twin there.
I'm torn apart. I'm not sure. I want to say it's beautiful or but ugly.
A little bit of both.
Back in the day, it beat the hell out of walking.
Yeah.
Definitely, it was beating the hell out of trying to drive from point A to point B on those roads back then.
Yeah. They have some beautiful antiques that come in. I'm kind of jumping around here, but that's the kind of things you see up there. I'm going to try to find a picture of mine, so it's going to be kind of a letdown after seeing these.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to build one until I actually saw one in person, and I am way too big to fit.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'm technically too big for mine, but I fit myself in it.
we had a
I
guy.
was thinking about making an SD5.
Yeah, we had a guy bring in some old. To me, it looked kind of like a Piper Cub, but it wasn't. He said it was smaller, but he flew into our RC field, landed and stuff, and taxied back. When he takes off, he had us hold on to the tail because the damn thing had no brakes.
Oh, yeah.
When he flipped, no starter, no brakes, and I'm like, "You don't have wheel chocks?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "When you came here, who held the tail for you?" He goes, "Oh, I started it by myself." He goes, "But it's a little safer if someone holds the tail." I'm like, "That's
Yeah.
stupid."
Yeah, I've been there myself with that.
You know, to see, like, either put brakes on the damn thing or put a starter on it, one of the two.
Let me find my other drive, and I'll show you a picture of mine. I don't have a picture of mine on this one.
Okay, I'm gonna unpresent you until you get back with it.
All right.
Oh, hey, Mike Lonke, how you doing tonight? Oh, he's got his mic muted.
I'm here, brother. You got me?
Building
Yeah, gotcha. What's going on?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me
Yep.
now?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
All right. Right on. Well, I don't have any airplane shit to show, but I'll show you Lisa's Mother's Day present. I think you'll get a kick out of this.
Okay.
So it's her Henry rifle, and I took it in. Her favorite team is University of Kentucky Wildcats. So I had them laser engraved. I don't know if you can see it.
On the wood?
Let me see. There we go.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Nice.
That is cool.
University of Kentucky on one side, and then we went ahead and did Wildcats.
Nice.
Let me see.
There you go. There you go. That's good.
On the other.
Oh, man, I bet she loves that.
That a 30-30?
No, it's a 22. It's a 22 Henry with the octagonal barrel, lever action. It's my wife's. She's had it for quite some time, and I was kind of stonewalled for a gift idea for her. So I actually just took Samuel's beginner, the Eagle's Nest trophy, and the junior trophy in to have his name engraved on it. And then when I was in there, I was talking to the guy because what my wife doesn't know, and I'll tell you guys, I didn't have the sock on this gun, it's safe, and I was putting my AK in there, and I scratched her stock. I put a big scratch in the stock right there. So I was trying to figure out a way to hide the damn scratch. I thought, you know what? I'm going to go have them laser engrave her favorite college basketball team on there.
That was a great idea.
It is. She'll never know, right?
Where's she from? Now she'll know now.
Where did I get it done?
No, I said, where is she from? Is she originally from Kentucky? Oh, okay.
So she's a big UK basketball fan, has been all her life. I think she'll be happy with that. I mean, I don't, people say, oh, you destroyed the value of the gun because you personalized it or whatever, but I don't really give a shit. When we buy guns, we don't sell them. She'll have this for the rest of her life, and she'll always remember this as her Mother's Day present.
Hey, there's a lot of UK fans that might find it valuable too.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a $400 gun. It's not like it's a $2,000, Wesley or anything like that. It's not a big deal. So,
Who sells a Henry anyway?
what's that?
Who sells their Henry anyway?
Yeah, right. I mean, once you got one, you never get rid of it, So, other than that, just fixing airplanes for Joe Nall, fixing some stuff, worked on my half angle.
Did you fly you were supposed to go out flying Monday or Tuesday? Did you go out?
I did. I put up 5 flights on the SD with the 61. I got I'm doing 5.2 second laps on 64-foot lines, running 7 minutes, flying. I flew the full pattern like 5 times. I'm pretty happy with it. Derek and Dave and Randy will be there for the stunt clinic on Thursday, and that's why I'm going to Joe Nall, so I can get in on the stunt clinic. I think I got a good baseline on running the motor and flying the plane, so hopefully they can help me tweak it in a little more. The only issue I'm having is going a little bit rich, inverted. When I go to do inverted, just slightly rich, and it's a little bit rich on the outsides. I know I need to either raise the tank, which I can't do, or I got to lower the motor, maybe put a plate in there and lower the motor. But it's not so egregious that I can't fly it.
You got a metal tank or plastic tank?
There's a metal tank in there.
Yeah, you're probably gonna put a plastic tank in it. Get rid of that.
No,
I'm not doing that.
no way.
All the shit I went through to get the metal tank in it. Look, it's flying okay for me. I know it's not, expert level shit, but for me at advanced flying, it's gonna do just fine for me. But they'll be able to, it's a secondhand airplane anyway, so I didn't build it, and there's not room for me to move that tank up to take care of that. Maybe Derek and Randy have some ideas on what to do, but I'm not rebuilding the damn airplane just because it's going a little rich upside down.
Well, just a little.
To fit the compartment with the pickup tube a little higher. So.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I don't really know what I'm doing with the piped engine yet, so hopefully they'll be able to help me out, and I'll get some good advice. But I mean, as far as me and where I'm at in my flying, it's the best freaking flying airplane I've ever had, and it's the best running engine I've ever had, hands down. So I'm happy. An expert flyer might notice a difference, but I sure don't at my level. So
yeah. Well, that's a huge step forward, anyways.
It is. It is for me. It's a big advancement in where I'm going with this. So, lots of room to learn, and I'll know better on the next one. Randy says he's going to have all kinds of goodies there to sell. I reached out to him on his Aero Products page, so maybe different props and bringing kits too. I can hunt down the next iteration of whatever I'm going to build.
Yeah. Well, Mike, sometimes it may feel like it's richer outside on outside maneuvers, but you have to assume that inside loops and outside loops are exactly the same size in the same spot. But if you vary a little bit, then the motor is gonna respond appropriately.
Oh no, they're perfect, Tryon. I promise.
Okay.
They're perfect.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, I'm yanking your chain, man. Of course, yeah, you're right. You're right. The size and shape of the maneuver is going to change it a little bit, but
yeah. So it might be a fake reach on the outside,
It could be. I don't know, but all I can say is compared to the shit I have been flying for the last 2 or 3 years, this new airplane and the PA is definitely
a little step forward.
it's better. It's light years forward of what I've been flying.
Yeah.
I can't
Well,
wait to get out there and see what I can do in a content, you know.
yes, that's going to be a huge difference, because right now you're going to make a transition from worrying about the plane performing, worrying about the motor running, worrying about all kind of crap, right? To where do I want to put the plane now?
Yeah.
What do I want to do with
Right.
it?
Point it. I can tell you that. It goes exactly where I point it. I don't think it has any bad characteristics either.
Hmm.
To me, it turns equally inside, out, insides and outsides are the same. It turns the same both ways, you know, and it's got plenty of line tension. I don't think it has too much. It's not getting soft in any of the head maneuvers or anything like that. It feels good. You know, it's actually really easy to fly. It's really easy to fly. I'm not fighting airplanes.
Let me
That's
interrupt. for
that's
just
the
a
whole
second.
key point. That's the whole key point. As planes performing planes that perform well, they're just simply easier to fly. And because they're easier to fly, you can learn a lot more and a lot faster.
Let me interrupt for just a second.
Go
Kim,
ahead,
when
Rusty.
you're ready to show, let me know and I'll present your
Okay.
pictures to everybody. And if it's too much, if it's a pain in the ass, you know, you can organize them and do it another time too.
I got a few I can show. I just didn't want to interrupt you guys.
Yeah. Are you ready to show now?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Rock and roll.
These-
Okay, I'll go ahead and present you. And there we go. Everybody should see you now.
Okay. Well, this was several years ago, and it's still basic. Let me move forward here. Try to get one with the engine out. I strapped a camera to the wingtip, and I'm giving a guy a ride. Pilot sits in the back seat, and I'm triggering it. At this point, he's taking pictures of the little Pete and Pauls that are down in the display circle. But mine has a Continental engine on the front of it. It was designed for it.
This is a nice looking plane, man.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. It's a little rougher looking now, but it's not a true Pete and Paul. And the giveaway on the true Pete and Pauls is the rear gear strut meets the wing strut.
Mhm.
Where the Greg is, the gear strut meets a little ways forward of the rear gear strut.
Mhm.
But like I say, whenever I'm around here, it's a Pete and Paul. When I'm at the Pete and Paul reunion, it's a Grega.
Mhm.
There's a collection from back in the day.
Man, some of them are so beautiful.
That they're all the same, but they're all different.
Mhm.
How much of a cross country trip could you actually do in that plane? How far can you go?
I flew to Old Rhinebeck Airport in New York from Missouri back in 1990. It's depends. It's really a pleasure flying plane, but when I first got it, I was big into Richard Bach and all that stuff, and I immediately took it and started flying cross country and camping under the wing and all that good stuff. And things were a lot looser and easier before 9/11, so everything changed after that. There's my dynamic fighter pilot pose. There we are at Oshkosh in '89. And that was a
Awesome.
girl I was seeing at the time.
Mm.
You didn't let her get inside the tent? That's crazy.
Oh, she did exactly what she wanted to do.
Oh, I was gonna say I'd have let her inside the tent.
She was probably scared to get inside.
I don't think she was scared of anything. And there was one of the Petes that flew with us. It was flown by Captain Buck Naked. And he was a graphic designer, and it really showed on his airplane.
Oh, this is
And
beautiful.
this plane, it was at Broadhead last year. It's the same paint scheme. It's got a different owner.
Mhm.
But this is 1999. This fellow in front of me flew from Provo, Utah in his airplane. He's got a smoke system. He neglected to tell me he had a smoke system when he first activated. I thought he sucked a valve or something.
Oh God.
But he called it killing mosquitoes. He had basically a spray can, a bug spray can with oil in it, and he pumped it into the exhaust. he had a little petcock to turn it off and on with, and I'm following him there. But and that's the view from the back cockpit.
Is that a 1984 RX-7 in that picture?
Yeah, 84, 85. Yeah. I was pretty fond of it. I wish I hadn't sold it, but I needed something I could carry stuff with. I went through 2 of them over the years.
Yeah, those little old wankles would wind up pretty good.
Yeah, it ran like an electric motor. Now, this was an engine switch we did a while back, and I've taken it back to its original engine. It's going to have an A65 on it.
So how reliable is a Model A engine?
Well, the guys that fly them love them, but they also work on them quite a bit. So, and we have members that they used to fly all the way from California. They flew across the Rocky Mountains with those Model A's. The way they see it, the engine is overbuilt, and it's not called on to make a whole lot of power to fly the little Pete and Paul. But I'm lazy. I just want to put oil and gas in it and fly it.
I just, well, Model A doesn't even have an oil pump in it, does it?
No, no, it's got a Babbitt. They're Babbitt bearings, which I don't really know what they are, but guys fly them, and and the guys that want, if you're flying a Ford-powered Pete and Paul, it's not because you want an airplane. It's because you want to fly that particular model,
Oh, okay.
There I am turning gray, getting fat, but that gives a better view of the engine.
That golden engine, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. I bought it in 1985, and I want to try to get it going. I'm not going to be able to make it to the reunion this year in it, but if I can just get it knocking around in it. But anyway, that's what mine looks like.
That's good looking, man.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Thank you. It looks better in the pictures than it does in real life, but it's my little baby. So that's a painting I did for my back window of my van.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, you're quite a good artist.
Well, I doodle a lot.
Some of your doodlings are great. I've got the one you drew in pencil of
Good doodle.
presumably you sitting on a bench playing airplane as a child.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's a great picture.
yeah. Thank you. I got a lot of great.
Daydreaming, looking at the sky with contrail going overhead.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was my grandfather's buck sawhorse, and I'd lay a plank across it and sit on it and try to pretend I was in a plane. But
it's better than pretending a doghouse is a plane.
Well, that's true. Yeah. But I've had a lot of fun with this little yellow airplane.
We're good for Snoopy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's true.
Yeah, I have plans for both the Riga and the air camper. As I was so hot and heavy until I actually got a close gander at it.
Yeah. Yep.
I've been watching on YouTube these guys that have these bush planes, and they go and have trips with them, land on the top of the hill somewhere and just go somewhere else, and they find a a little sandbar next to a river.
Oh,
And
yeah.
just go and land over there, or they fly real low on top of the river, touching with the wheels the
Yeah.
surface, the water surface, and it just
Oh, it's
surfs
fantastic.
they're nuts. It's just the
Yeah.
and I had an acquaintance that he used to be an A-10 Warhog pilot,
Mhm.
and he had a Zlin aerobatic plane with the 2 seats in it. So
Oh yeah.
he took me up in a plane one time, and he let me do a loop with it and just do a barrel roll and flight inverted and stuff like that. So it was quite fun. And then he say, "You want to do the river run?" And then I say, "Yeah, sure, let's do the
Oh,
river
yeah.
run." So
Yeah.
so here we dropped on the river. I mean, the treetops are over there. We are down here, right?
Oh yeah.
Over
Yeah.
the river in a lean aerobatic plane, doing over 100 knots easily, right? And following the river, and it's like, oh, this is just so freaking amazing, awesome. And after we landed, I was thinking about it, and I said, man, this is what means to live life and be alive versus just
Yes.
surviving, going from day to
Yeah.
day, job and whatever. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, my hat's off to that, those kind of people that live life rather than just, you know, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Wonder where Mike Lonkey went. I didn't even see him leave.
A buddy of mine would do the river run thing all the time, and I wasn't with him, but he did it with somebody. I forget who he did it. It was in the fall of the year, and it was a real cool morning, and the river was warm, and he iced his carburetor
Oh
and
yeah.
almost put it in the river.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
thing was spitting and sputtering, and he was hitting the wheels and coming back off the carb heat and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I tried to tell him, I said, there's old pilots and bold pilots, but there's no old bold pilots.
Yeah. Hell, if you survive it, we've had a lot of fun. And this is a buddy of mine, Jerry Bray, that built a Kit Fox. He built a house on a hill, and that's his runway right up there.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're coming back from Broadhead, and I always said the closer I got to the runway, the shorter it got. But he stuck it on and rolled to a stop.
it looks
yeah,
so there.
those guys need like 100 feet, 150 feet, and they're off the ground or landing already.
Yeah, it's great. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
That's
nuts.
a pretty grainy picture of him up at that. That was taken a few years ago.
Yeah.
But there we are up at Broadhead camping out. I love flying cross country and camping.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Go somewhere, camp, and then take a hike or whatever, go somewhere else after that. Oh man, it's just being alive and living. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It's been a lot of fun. Very lucky to have done it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we sold my mother's car yesterday. My mother passed away a few years ago. And I haven't told my wife yet, but I'm ordering a new airplane kit with the money.
All right.
I'm going to order a Dream Fantasy from Airdrome Aircraft.
Good deal.
It's just too hard getting into my Challenger these days.
Did you ever see that RD5s?
Have I?
The RD5s.
I believe so. We've got several RVs at the airport. I never could keep up with the model numbers.
No, not the RVs. This I think it's a SD5. The SD5.
I don't know.
It's a low-wing kit build. It's basically plywood and sticks and stuff like that. It almost looks like a mini a model airplane on steroids, right? Even the ribs are made out of foam, and they have a special spark to it, and the wing is fully sheeted, low wing, and they can move, and they look like a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah, it's and this sounds like they're relatively inexpensive too.
Yeah. There are lots of models out there. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
With all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the show and tell. That's pretty good.
You bet. Thank you. I'll shut it down here. Let you guys get back to your stuff.
Okay. I'll stop presenting.
Yeah, you better shut it down. All right, let me see. All right.
Here we go. Oh, you need to click your screen share button and close your screen sharing.
Okay. Let's see.
There you go. I think you still got your picture up there.
Oh,
There
okay.
we go. Now you cleared it. Well, I thought
That
you
worked.
Do you see it?
did. Now you're good. Yeah. Looks like Tryan's got his screen share button clicked now. You got,
Yeah, you see this?
Oh, okay.
oh, yeah. Let me click
There
that
you
up,
go.
Try.
Yeah, this is the SD5.
Yeah.
Very nice, you know, cockpit is covered and stuff like that. They seem to fly very well on
Oh,
very
yeah.
little
Look at
power.
that. Yeah. It's a
That's
sharp
pretty
looking
cool.
little plane. It's a good looking plane.
Yeah, yeah. And you can have a tricycle if you want to, or this. And you know, they come in a kit. You buy the kit. The spars are already prefabricated. They do not allow anybody to build the kit without those spars that they have over there. And the rest is pretty straightforward. Just glue it together, hack it up, and you're done.
Yeah. Love the detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that.
It looks like your head's right up against the ceiling, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is basically the plane. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
What are they using for a power plant?
I think the first one used a Trabant motor, which is basically a Volkswagen Beetle motor. So, but they have all kind of motors over there. It's like you can buy the kit with a motor and everything, and it comes with a cowling that's made for that, and it's a matter of just putting it together. But it doesn't look complicated. I mean, just like look at the wing. You just put a bunch of foam in there, and leading edge or trailing edge, and you sheet it. Big up to do. I mean, I think any of us can do that. So, and I think the fuselage is all covered in plywood as well.
Yeah.
So what is that? The wing, is that just a fabric covered wing?
No, it's a plywood covered wing with a has. Look at this. Can you see it?
I see the ribs, but
Yeah, the ribs are covered with the plywood, aviation plywood. So this is pretty slick, pretty clean airfoil. It's a clean plane. Here's the wing. I'm just going through this, trying to find some stuff. You know, so this is what some people are doing, I guess. Some of these cowlings are already made for certain ages, so when you get it, it's a pretty plane. I think
It is. Yeah.
it's beautiful, it's fast, and it's just like it's, you know, interesting. What can I say?
Please do not touch aircraft. Yeah, I guess everybody wants to put their hands on it.
Especially little kids.
Yeah, especially me. I always have to put my hands in my pockets when I'm looking at airplanes and motorcycles.
Yeah, let me put my plane on display so you cannot touch it.
yeah, my
Give me
dad,
a freaking break. If you display it, expect people to touch it.
when me and my brother would always be going someplace with my dad or whatever, he'd always say, "Now you boys don't be fingering things."
I'm not playing this stuff for you guys, but I'm just going to some, you know, some snapshots here and there.
Looks good. Yeah.
Dad,
But that's a pretty plane. I was thinking about building one of these guys. Nice.
I wonder what they're using to weight the wing, the plywood down.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah,
Well, guys, I think I'm going to turn in. It's been an early morning and a late night, so it's really good. Maybe I can hook up with you again.
Yeah, Kim, thanks for coming. I'm glad you got in with us. That was fun.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Thank you for sharing all the stuff with us.
Absolutely. I appreciate you wanting to see it. We'll see you all again.
All right, look forward to it.
All right.
See you later.
Take care.
Night.
Peace. Okay, good night.
All right, good to get a new member in here. He's been living out in the country for so long with no cable that now he's finally got a fiber optic in his neighborhood. So,
5G will be coming along here pretty soon.
say what, Steve? Bob Gieske?
I said no. I said hopefully 5G will be coming along
Oh,
here.
5G. I thought you said Bob Gieske.
Yeah, he won't be coming around.
No.
Yeah, it'd be nice up here to have 5G and not have all the problems.
I hope I have some nice weather tomorrow so I can go out and fly a little bit.
So
Yeah, I'll get out to the shop a little bit tomorrow. I really need to get out there and do something productive.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully my walking will be good tomorrow. If it's as good as it was today, I'll be out there.
yeah, I'm building a lost phone line right now while we sit here and talk. Cutting some ribs and sanding them, but do a little bit of something anyway.
I'm cutting down props.
Is that a rubber ducky you got there in your hand?
That's a Master Air Screw 6.3 cutting down to 5.3.
Those are my favorite ones for cutting down.
And then I'm going to cut down. You can't tell me about this. I have some APC 6.5 props that I'm going to cut down to 4.5, 6.5 for the Run What You Brung contest.
6.5 pitch. That's a pretty steep pitch.
That's right. That's why I should take
from there.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have such a horrible weather tomorrow. 71 degrees, 69, 73, winds up to 6 miles per hour. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that. I'm just like,
it might be too much wind.
Stay in bed.
Everything's soggy down there.
And it's a lot cooler in Atlanta than it is in Columbia. It's going to be in the mid 80s tomorrow here.
Mm-hmm. Nice. so yeah.
Boy, Saturday was pretty warm at Huntersville. I worked up a good sweat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You sure enjoy yourself watching the guys flying over there.
Yeah.
I was keeping an eye on the wind direction. I was just, because it was a bit weird, Huntersville is always like that. It seems like to me. I was like, when the wind blows and blows from on the other side of the trees or parallel to the trees and just starts to tumble around and do all kind of funny stuff.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And along with that, the thermals come through and flip at 180 degrees for about 10 seconds, and you got to wait that out.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Just got to know how to do that. I think I won a contest one time because I knew how to pay attention to the wind, and my opponent didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was surprised in even the turbulent weather, like, and you know how it was there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost didn't feel it. I mean, it was just almost impervious to it, the way the plane was flying. So
that Vector, is that going to be your son's second airplane?
yes. Yeah. I mean, if everything is successful, his first one is going to be the Twister with an electric setup on it, and with that we should have like idiot-proof reliability and consistency in a plane.
Yeah.
so it should make it very easy to learn anything on it. And I guess I'm gonna put my hands on it and trim it out and try to get it to fly well. So with that on top of it, I mean, he should have something solid to learn on.
Yeah. I was gonna say on Stunthangar, somebody, I can't remember where I found it. It has an electric vector
Mhm.
getting ready to cover it. He must have stripped all the covering off, but you can see all the lightning holes and stuff in the fuselage. They do the tail just for the reason is that them vectors build pretty tail heavy for electric.
Mhm. Okay. Well, thanks for letting me know that.
Yeah, you know, when you hang in a big ass tank out there and a 47 or whatever, you know, on it or whatever people are putting on there, it doesn't matter. But once you convert them to electric, they seem to be tail heavy.
I would expect any conversion to be a little bit tail heavy,
Yeah,
simply because in a internal combustion setup you have the heavy object in the front, and in the electric setup you have the heavy object behind the motor.
yeah.
So it's kind of swapped, and overall that would push the CG back a little bit.
So, but that's what I found on the ones, you know,
Okay.
that I've been doing that are in electric.
All right.
So, and I don't know why, because it doesn't seem like it would be, but the other one you're building right now, that SIG, that's nose heavy. It seemed to be nose heavy,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't. It has a really short nose, and it was made for a Fox 30,
Mm-hmm.
and we end up running the battery back up under the wing on an angle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got it to balance, but yeah, the vector is, you know, because I figured, well, that, you know, wouldn't worry about it, and the tail, it was tail heavy.
Yeah. Well, I was also considering to make a brand new fuselage for the Vector. You know, just for the heck of it, to make a lighter fuselage and maybe a nicer fuselage with a little bit more room inside of it. But after that, I said, nah, it's just not worth it's just not worth it. If I ever go to that position, I might as well just scratch build something that's a nice 40 size plane. I
Well,
might even do the elliptical wing that I had planned.
Dennis made that conversion kit for the electric
Mm-hmm.
vector. That works out real nice and gives you room there for the side mount on the battery, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that I think it works out pretty nice that way. In that it knocks the weight down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm already thinking about getting rid of the doublers altogether. Put some of my carbon fiber 30 grams per square meter carbon fiber inside of it, on the inside of the fuselage. So that should knock out some weight off of it.
Yeah.
Probably redo the nose area a little bit so I can bolt the engine like I bolt it right now on the Revolutions. So kind of like what Bob Hunt does on his planes.
Oh, okay.
It's only for a built-up fuselage, so I'm gonna have a wall over there with a hole, so that's gonna receive the motor. I also need to think about cooling, because Vector doesn't have a whole lot of room inside of it to allow the air to flow freely through the fuselage. Because the wing is so thick, it's little room between the lower balsa plate and even the upper turtle deck,
Yeah.
because
You know,
it's kind of close in there.
we never had a problem with that. And I don't know, we use that Dennis has like a ram air. You have
Mhm.
underneath the cowl, he's got that where it forces it up through the engine, and there is the opening in the front there. But out of all the electrics, that thing for being all cowled in runs the coolest.
Mhm. Yeah.
So air seems to go through it real well.
Mhm. Okay. I'm thinking about just maybe I'm gonna ask Mark if he can, since we use different motors in the Revolutions, maybe Mark can spare his axis motor so I can put it in a vector, which is you know, you can look at it as an overkill size wise, but I think we're gonna save a lot of weight on the batteries side. Uh, yeah. Uh, that's kind of what I found out with electrics. Use a big electric motor, you're gonna save the weight on the battery side,
You're gonna
and
use the
then some.
then?
Huh?
You're gonna use the 6-cell
No, probably just the 4-cell of that one.
because that's what a 640 kV.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have much headroom.
670, yeah, maybe a 5S,
Yeah.
a little 5S or something like that. I don't know. Yeah.
I got 2800 5S's for this one I was gonna try, but that was the problem is that if I go to a lower kV motor, nobody makes any batteries for it. What you need, with the size you need.
Mm-hmm.
So then you got a huge battery with it, and it's like, you're almost better off to stay with the 4-cell and use, some batteries that there's tons of them out there.
Yeah. I think the Axie was a 970 kilovolt motor.
What was a 970?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, so then it wasn't an Igor setup where he was going to try to fly it on his deal.
But you know what? I still have a Joker that's 820 kilovolts as well. So I could probably just put that one with the little 4S battery and just swing it just in a 11.5-inch prop or something like that with a bit higher pitch, maybe a 6 or 6.5 or so on the vector.
You may have to, look at the fuselage when you build it to make sure you can get a bigger diameter in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of room to.
Yeah, because the Joker is close to 2 inches wide.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think this big fat motors, just used a lot less battery. So
Well, good night.
Good night, Sparky.
Night.
Spark, yeah, it looks good, man. I like your plane, how it turns out, and man, it's nice to have 2-3 planes ready to fly at any time.
I got 4 here.
At least, yeah. 3 that I know of.
All right, guys. Good night.
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 All right, good night.
This arrow wind is a 2820, but it's bigger diameter and it seems to get more torque, but it barely gets in the nose of that vector.
Mm-hmm. But since my fuselage is not built yet, I can just decide what I want to put in it right now and work around it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, what I found out is that everybody goes like, well, if I use a big electric motor, it's heavy. I don't want to have a heavy item over there. But they don't realize that they save weight and stress over the whole system everywhere else, which is and those savings are even more than what you added to the motor to begin with.
Yeah. See, I had to go with a heavier battery to get it to balance.
Okay. Yeah.
I was thinking is, do you want the weight in the furthest out in the nose, or you want it back closer to the CG?
And you want now it's probably only closer to the nose because you put less weight and just I don't know, if you add less weight if you add it to the nose, if that's the issue. And the battery is the battery, but from what I found out, it's just the motors are just so relaxed when they're big. The motor is relaxed, the battery is relaxed because it doesn't have to pump a whole lot of juice. You can use a smaller ESC, thinner wires, so you save weight on the wires, you save weight on the battery, you save weight on the ESC. You save even more because having a efficient system like that, you don't lose uh, energy due to the heat, because heat it's a form of energy loss, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't create heat in the system as you run it, then you are even saving even more. So the batteries can get even smaller after that. So it's a bigger motor just compounds everything else behind it. And yeah, I think if you spend 20 grams on the motor, 30 grams on the motor, you can probably save that plus on the other side. So anyways, that's kind of the way I look at it.
Battery's the right size.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the problem is, you only need, say, 2400 milliamp. No one makes it. So now you got to go to a 27.
Yeah.
So there ain't no way to knock out the battery weight unless you can custom make your own batteries or whatever.
Yes.
Because I ran into that with using 22 was too small.
Uh-huh.
And really 27 is too big, but there's no in between battery.
Yeah, if I could get a 22.6S, I'd be happy, but they don't exist unless you are being sponsored like Sammy would be sponsored, and they can make her whatever she wants to
Yeah,
have.
trying to get them to make it. I guess maybe they'll do a one-off, which they don't. I don't think they really want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the reasons for which I'm looking into the 5S setup, and I'm also looking into the 4S setup as well. So that's yeah. I mean, with the 4S setup, I think I can get away with the 4S, the 2800 milliamps. Should be fine. I can get away with a 5S 22 easy, and I'm still well within the limits. But you know what, Steve? Right now, when I'm flying the plane, I'm not really hurting because I say like, oh, the plane is heavy or anything like that. The plane is super light, so I can afford heavier batteries. I can afford this heavier stuff, right? And I'm not really going like, oh my god, this is too heavy, whatever. I mean, just it's not at all. I don't even have a problem because of that. Even at 58 ounces, and this is being my heavy plane, I'm still super light,
Right.
and the plane is not showing it at all.
Yeah, I'm talking about the vector, because it's going to weigh what everybody else's weighs. It ain't going to be one of the airplanes that come out super light.
Yes, I agree with you.
And that's why I was just letting you know about, trying the different setups and different weights. And, that's why I got so many damn different batteries and everything else, trying stuff. And, it's where I had to add. And they do come out a little tail heavy, so maybe a heavier motor in the nose may not hurt at all. Because I had to add 1.5 ounces nose weight. So I ended up going to that 3,500 milliamp battery that I only use like 55% of it. But I figure I don't hurt. The battery should last forever because I'm not taxing it at all.
So basically, you already made my decision, because from what you're saying, it's almost obvious. I'm probably going to go to the Joker with high kilovoltage on it, and they have one that's actually over 900 watts worth of power rated on it, and it's 11 something kilovolts. So I can probably run that on a 3S system or even a 4. Stay with the 3 or a 4S system with a small battery and call it a day. And that's going to bring my center of gravity forward. What do you think?
Yeah, you're going to have to work out for battery weight to, and the bitch was once they're done, it is what it is. Then it's like, okay, now try to figure out how to balance it. And I figured that I might as well go with a bigger battery that I tax less
Mm-hmm.
than add nose weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I did that. Yeah, if I could use a 2200 milliamp battery,
Mm-hmm.
your motor, and it balanced out, no problem with that either. It's just getting it to balance and,
Mm-hmm.
the least amount of, but yeah, what I figured out was that if I built another vector or whatever it's built, that you got to have that. There's got to be a little bit different, put some more lightning holes
Mm-hmm.
or the super light wood and do a built up tail.
Yeah.
And get that weight off. So you don't have to add any kind of weight into the nose of it.
Yeah. Well, if I was, I don't think Vector is really built for a electric setup. I just putting electric in a Vector is more almost like hacking it up, right? Well, actually, it is hacking it up. And I'm saying this because Vector has an airfoil that's way too fat for an electric bird. So it's already eating a lot of energy just to drag the thing through the air. So that's I think when you build a plane for electric, you have to build it for electric, and anytime you copy something that's built for something else other than electric is just a probably a hack job, at best.
Well, that's why I'm doing this, because very thin airfoil. I'm talking to you and stuff, and it won't have a rudder on the airplane or anything like that. It'll have the little deals on the side of the elevator. So it's going to have a very small fuselage, and I ain't going to have a fuselage that you can put a pipe in for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be down to, the least amount as possible. But I'm going to try that.
Oh, I think it's an asset to have a big aft section of the fuselage, especially in the wind.
I got a question from YouTube. Is Gary Sinclair asks, do you think vortex generators work on stunt planes? And I texted back and said a lot of the high-end guys use them. A lot of the experts put them on, or some of the experts anyway.
I want to try. I hear a lot of good things, but
that's a level of tinkering that I'm not interested in. But yeah, if you want to experiment, they do work if they're done right.
Well, from what I learned, from what I know, I was flying in a plane when I went overseas, and there were some guys that were actually aircraft engineers on a plane, and they were talking about the vortex generator that were on the side of the wing, and they were saying something like in the lines of, you see those vortex generators over there? I said, you know what? They put them over there. It's because they discovered something in the test flights. The wing wasn't really behaving the way it was supposed to behave, and they said that anytime you see vortex generators on anything, it's because they're trying to fix a design flaw to begin with. So yeah, what can I say? They do work, yes, but maybe we need to look in the design itself to begin with, and come up with a better design. What can I say?
Yeah, I was looking at a Learjet, and they got all kinds of vortex generators out on the tip, not so much on the root or anything like that. I was talking to a guy, and he said because they slow it down, it won't tip stall on them or something. I don't know if it's true or.
So, so
they
you
were-
are confirming exactly what I'm saying. They are trying to fix a design flaw of the plane.
I don't know that's a design flaw or
Or
a design limitation.
yeah,
Planes we have, I don't think that's going to make a lot of difference because of the amount of airflow that are over them, the Reynolds numbers that we use
yes,
full scale.
yep, yep. I'm just absolutely with you over there. Yeah, and yeah, the Reynolds numbers that we run at, they're not exactly on our side.
Oh, here comes Steve McBride, a late arrival. Steve always liked to come in at midnight. There we go.
It's only
Hey, Steve.
there. You probably just got out of work.
You working late tonight, Steve?
A little bit. A little bit.
Yes.
Still going good with your new company?
Oh, everything's going real good with that. That's going
Good.
real nice, real smooth. I'm enjoying that. That's a lot better life.
You sure
Thank you
do
for
have a
asking.
clean shirt after a day's work.
What's that?
You sure do have a clean shirt after a hard day's work.
Yeah, well, I got a lot better now. I'm not doing as much of the labor. I got other guys doing it.
So did you hire that 20-year-old secretary yet? Phone answer? Is that a yes or no?
I got a good group. I got other people now that do the work. Good setup, good deal.
Note how he's avoiding the answer.
Wait a minute.
He dodged the bullet over there.
Don't pretend like you didn't answer. Ask the question.
Yeah, Steve, I have to give it to you, man. I can't just let you go. Scott's free over there.
Got a good group. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
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 So how old is that girl? You got
These girls I have in my office now, 27 to 35.
Oh, okay.
Now the cat is out of the bag. There you go.
Yeah.
Come on, Steve, fess up.
I don't have any naughty secretaries.
Oh, I'm horrible.
Yeah, probably instead of having what do they call it? Jean Friday, he's got Bikini Friday or something.
Oh, that was my old company, but that was for sleeping with the boss issue competition.
Well, that's always good, as long as you're the boss.
Yeah. Well, that's what he had. He had all these young girls and it was competition for who's getting to sleep with the boss competition at the end of the week.
Well, there's got to be some kind of upside to owning your own business. So.
Yeah. Absolutely an upside to it. I mean, there's upsides and downsides. There's more responsibility. There's more issues complications you have to deal with. You have to deal with all customer relations. The upside is you're your own boss. You make all your own decisions. You're the person that answers to everything. So, and everybody answers to you.
Yeah,
the upside is now it's not just one-on-one with me, and I got to answer to the boss and so forth. I make money on other people doing the work as well.
Yeah.
But it's just started, so it's a small growing. It's a beginning stages to grow yet. But I like it a lot better. I mean, I was doing it with the other company I was working with, was basically like owning your own business, but you're doing it for somebody else. Now it's your family.
Oh yeah, we had that at our shop. We had a dispatcher, and 2 weeks after I started, the dispatcher was gone. And I'm like, what the hell happened to her? And said, well, she didn't really do much work, and none of the guys would ever leave the office. So we got a new dispatcher, a guy. That's
That
all.
usually solves the problem. That usually solves the problem, but they're not sometimes always effective either.
Yeah, but he did a pretty. He does. He's still there. He does a real good job, but he did something like that in the Navy. He was in the Navy for 20-some years, and so he organizes the crews and all that kind of stuff. But it's not that great to go in there and look at. I can tell you that. So
I agree with you. That was a really good company. We had 15 workers in that office, and that was day shift, night shift. People never left the office.
yeah,
They never did. There was show and tell time. You just, boom, eyes were open, show and tell. You stayed in the office.
yeah, because I don't know. He's like he didn't realize what the other boss did because they hired him and they moved him up out of the field into the office, and he hired me a week later, and 2 weeks after that she was gone, and he didn't understand why she was there. So, but it's like, oh well. I never go in anyway. We got telephones. And they have to.
Okay, guys, I think we're gonna call it a night.
Well, Rusty, I signed on because I was just watching it momentarily, and someone had a question on vortex generators. Do they work? The answer to that is yes, they do. Based on the aircraft and what they do work.
Okay. Yeah, I know some people swear by them, and just like I said, it's beyond my level of experimentation. But yeah,
But what now? Do they work better on a thick wing or a thin wing?
That's a good question.
You know what I wanted to know is like, you know,
Well, I'm using them on a 2¼ inch airfoil.
okay.
So,
I think if we place our vortex generators on our planes, we should place them a lot closer to the flaps hinge line, because that's where you want to generate the vortex, so you get the air to stick to the flaps. Basically, that's why you do it. I was watching this guy that put some vortex generators on the back of his car. And he put them pretty close to the rear windshield of the car, right? And you could see that the air was sticking to the windshield very nicely, right? Even though the windshield was kind of like on a sharp angle down.
Yeah.
But the vortex generator was just in front of that windshield, right? So you use the full airfoil to, I'm just instinctively talking here, right? I'm not an expert or anything like that. So, but my instinct will tell me like keep the airflow, the air laminar on the wing, and then do the vortex generation where you need it, and you need it over the flaps when the flaps deflects on a high angle, and you want to make it a little bit more effective. And I think that's how it works best, instead of having turbulence over the most of the wing. I mean, from the maximum thickness almost all the way to the back.
I don't quite agree with that because vortex generators are there to prevent separation on the wing. And separation would occur much farther forward than the leading edge of your flaps. So you want to go forward.
You bring it more closer to.
Yeah, but don't you want to put them where the separation starts to occur rather than too far forward in front of it?
You're gonna want to be more at the highest point of your wing.
Yeah, but is the separation occurring over there or just further down the wing? Where is the separation occurring? That's the question.
Separation occurring is right after.
Okay, so
After
why
it
don't you?
passes.
So why
Oh,
don't
we
you
got
put the?
flying going on.
So why
Check
don't you
this
put the
out.
vortex generators where the separation actually occurs, so you can help that section, and use the most of the wing to do what it's supposed to do and create lift.
So basically, then a thicker wing is going to have more separation.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Y'all see what I'm looking at?
Yep.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
Mike flying a multi-rotor in his garage.
It's not a multi-rotor. It's a drone. It's a drone. Get him.
It's not a drone. It's a helicopter with 4 propellers, RC controlled. Come on.
You'll be
A drone. It's in my opinion, a drone. It's when you program it to go and it's autonomous.
Autonomously, exactly.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's a drone. When this is a RC controlled stuff. Come on.
I called it the right name, a multi-rotor
Yeah.
or a
Whatever,
quadcopter.
Very
You'll
nice, Mike.
get a stunt for that, Mike.
Yeah, he's got his mic shut off because he knows we yell at him.
Probably it's the noise that
be
you
okay.
get from that. So would you agree with me on that one? It's like to put the vortex generator where where actually where the
I agree on based on the airfoil of the airplane, the type of aircraft, and the weight of the aircraft is actually where you set your vortex generators and also the pattern of how you set them.
Yeah.
There are different patterns on how you set them, so it's not that you want vortex generators in certain patterns. There's different ones for different airfoils, different sizes of aircraft, and different
True, but before you okay, I'm saying before you even put it on a plane, maybe you should do like a little test, with those little strings, that are connected to the plane, and see where the separation occurs on a plane, right? So now that you know that the separation occurs right here in this point, then you put those generators just in front of those points.
But you also have to find where you're comfortable with it, where the plane's reacting better for you when you're putting them on there. Because some people use less and some people use more, and you're going to use more based on getting the plane to turn for you with use of the vortex generator.
Yeah, I mean, it just all depends on the design of the plane, ultimately.
That is the correct approach. You have to just test whichever plane you get and just. Actually, it's going to be a feel thing. You're not going to test something like that.
It's not something. There's no set pattern. So you put vortex generators on, you lay them on the wing this way, and that's the only answer as a set pattern, and that works. It's how you got to test and work with them to your comfort zone. You get the results out of them.
Yeah.
I was watching a thing on TV, and they had sailboats, and this had scales on it, like a fish. When they molded the fiberglass, it looked like scales, and it cut through the water more. And they were saying it was more precise on maneuvering and all this kind of stuff. And I wasn't really understanding it, but it kept the water from creating a suction on it. But
It maybe causes cavitations, micro cavitations around each scale, and it doesn't have as much contact area with the water.
It's the same principle as using dimple tape on props and wing leading edges. On home builds, dimple tape is trying to be a really big thing on propellers because of that. Makes the prop a lot more efficient.
So I was watching that, and they were saying it cut the drag out of that boat, but yet it did something else better by them doing that. And another one, they were trying like a shark skin paint, that sharks glide through the water real good without too fast. And this, so I don't know exactly how the vortex generators work. I never used them, but it doesn't mean that they don't work.
Well, I have them. I use them. I have them on my Thunder Gazer, and I found a difference using them when I went from before I started using them and how the plane reacted to when I did put them on and how I saw the plane actually fly it and come out of a corner a lot smoother.
And
It
yes,
was
yeah.
a lot nicer using them.
Well, that has everything to do with having the air sticking to the flaps, basically. Because when you generate those vortexes, you know, the air is going to stick to the flaps at high deflections, right? Otherwise, it separates. So
The other thing
that's the
about them things is it actually maybe actually straightening the air out a little bit before it hits the tail.
Actually, it's just the opposite. Vortex generators are angled, and it creates a vortex off the vortex generator that follows the laminar flow.
yeah.
So actually, it's going to make the tail less effective.
I don't think it has anything to do with that. I mean, it has to do
I've
with
seen people even put them on
the
the tail.
maximizing your lift on your wing.
I've seen people put them on the stabs. I haven't experimented with doing with that yet, and whether it does give you a different effect or anything, but I have 32 of them on mine, and I've known people to use less, and I've known people to use over 40 of them.
Okay, so when you're talking about straightening the airflow, those aren't vortex generators; those are fences. So you can use those down the length of the core of the wing, and on the. You've seen people put plates on the end of the wing. It's the same thing.
That's what he's talking about.
Yep.
I found out that no matter what I do to them airplanes, what kind of wing, thick, thin, or whatever, they all hit the ground about the same speed.
That's a different theory.
Steve, if you can fly inverted and normal flight and do a horizontal 8, all I can say is just buy yourself an SV11 and put an electric motor on it and just go with it. You're gonna learn so fast, you're gonna be amazed.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to stick with a smaller airplane or something lighter. My back
Is that because you physically cannot hold on a bigger plane or what?
Yeah. Yep. Saturday I went out and one flight, and that was it. I mean, my back hurt so bad it was physically making me sick to my stomach.
Oh, okay. That's something else, yeah.
So I'm just, right now trying to go with SPL or the vectors or whatever.
Yeah, say a Vector Noble or something like that. Would be just as good.
I think you do invest into a few of these. Cox O2s.
I can't turn circles that fast. My knees are bad too.
Good. Hey, Steve, let me ask you a question. Is there anything good?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Well, and that was the bitch about I always kept my CDL because I figured I could always fall back on that when I can't go up and down ladders and stuff, and it was getting to be that, and I'm like, well, I can find one of these next day delivery deals or whatever, and drive truck. But as of this week, I don't have a medical card anymore, so now I can't even do that. So, yeah, I don't know. What
and then we went behind the trees or something. We couldn't see.
Take care of yourself, Steve.
Yeah, I may have to actually have my knees fixed and my hip replaced and
You're doing good.
my back just taken care of or whatever, but I've been trying to put it off, but
yeah. I'm going back to this vortex generation discussion, right? Did you guys ever see how they do test the wings to see when they stall? with those strings that are taped on the wing.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah. So
Chris Rudd made a video on that.
yeah. So that'll be my idea, you know. Put those strings on top of the wing, get one of those miniature video cameras, and just fly the plane. And you're gonna see from the video camera where the separation occurs. And now, knowing where the separation occurs, now you know exactly where your vortex generation is gonna go.
Chris
if you
Rudd.
want to use them.
Chris Rudd made a video and put that on there.
Okay.
I believe he used a Strega, and he put it on the Strega with a PA-75, and he was testing it with that. And he put the vortex generators on it.
Mhm.
And he explained more in detail the difference of how he saw the reaction to him. And what
That was, that was basically for that wing.
Yeah.
And every
Yes.
design would actually be a little bit different.
Yes.
This part yet, man.
And
Well,
also, Steve, is the setup on a plane.
that's
Because
a
if
large
you-
airfoil too. It's close to a 3-inch airfoil.
Yeah, but it's also a setup, because now think about it. You run a forward CG, you need more deflection to pull the corner, right? So you're opening the opportunity of having separation on your airfoil. Now, if you run an FCG, you use a lot less deflection on your flaps in the elevator, so the separation never occurs. So depending on your setup for your plane, for your conditions, you can act or react to it by adding the vortex generators or not, for that matter. But the question is, how do you know if you need them or not? And the only thing I can come up with is exactly this: find wherever you're happy with the plane, put a little video camera on it, put a bunch of strings over there, see where the separation takes place, and then you know pretty much where to position your vortex generators, and try it out, see how it reacts. You like it or you don't.
That's kind of what I'd say too, is that each plane is different.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I don't use I use them on my Thunder Gazer. I don't use them on my Patriot. Different airplanes, different.
Seems like he did.
Little different setup on it, so I just don't use it there.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm gonna say good night. It's been fun being here with you, and Mike, I guess I'm gonna see you next week sometime. So,
Sam, going to Triple Tree, Mike?
you might want to unmute the microphone if you want us to hear you. It helps usually.
Is that better?
That's
A
better.
little bit better.
Okay. Yes, I emailed his principal and I said he was going to be out in for a model airplane contest. You can excuse the absences or not. And she emailed me back and she said, model airplane contest. I said, yeah, Sam's involved in model aviation. We go to contests, blah, 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 blah. He's the current 2018 junior national champion. And she excused his absences for Huntersville and for Triple Tree.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, we'll be there. We're leaving late Wednesday. We'll be there Thursday for stunt camp.
Okay. Yeah. I also talked to the school, my son's school place, and they said, for one day, they don't even worry about it. We're gonna leave Friday morning. We're gonna be Friday morning over there, and hopefully we'll make it there at 9ish or so in the morning.
We get to meet your boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he flying yet?
I'm working. I let him fly my plane a little bit, right? But he's just baby at this stuff right now.
Okay, now we're gonna turn him loose on some of Samuel's stuff while we're there. I'll let him wreck some of Sam's shit, man. We'll have a good time.
I really appreciate that. Mike.
Yeah, he can fly some of Sam's IC stuff. We'll bring extras, as a matter of fact. We'll bring some of our beater stuff and just let him try some stuff and have a good time, man.
Absolutely. Well, Mike, I really appreciate that. I mean, you are an awesome guy.
No problem. Tell my wife that, would you?
We're not
Well-
going to lie to your wife.
What's that, Steve?
I said, we're not going to lie to your wife.
Oh shit! All right.
Hey,
I don't know if you
Steve,
can tell,
just
but we
watch
got
his
some
wife
drone
just watching
flying
this thing
going
soon.
on. We got some drone flying going on here tonight in the shop, man. I'm teaching my my granddad how to fly a drone.
You see, I was right.
So,
Copter. I call it a quadcopter. Everyone else call it a multi-rotor.
Quadcopter, drone, whatever. But
You
I
know
got
what?
a cool rookie here, man, and he's hovering now. He's hovering, so he's doing good.
Awesome.
All right, well, yeah,
Good night,
Brian,
guys.
I'll see you at Triple Tree, man.
I
Night.
don't let no one see that, Mike, that you fly that. They'll kick you out of control line.
Oh, I don't care, man. You gotta kill the throttle when it crashes, dude. You gotta shut the throttle off when it crashes. You can't pull it out. if the quad's upside down, you gotta kill the throttle, man. It wasn't upside down. Chop the throttle, man. No, this cat that's here visiting, man, he's not really my grandpa, man. He's actually the guy that taught me to skydive in 1995. He was my jump master in 1995, and we made a bunch of skydives together, and we've been friends ever since. He lives in Florida, and he's off on a little whirlwind tour right now, visiting people. So we were honored to get a visit with him. I'm putting him work tomorrow. He's also the guy that got me into flying powered paragliders, flying the PPGs. And I don't know if you remember me telling you I had an engine out last year on my powered paraglider, and I had to land in a bean field. So I got a seized motor on my flying machine on my ultralight. We're going to tear it apart tomorrow and figure out what we got to do to fix this thing.
Tell him that flying a quadcopter is kind of like skydiving. You don't want to bounce.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Chuck? You don't want to bounce. Flying a quadcopter is like skydiving. You don't want to bounce. Oh, we tore the gear off it twice already, man. It's got a little plug-in gear on the bottom that pops out. Yeah, he's doing all right, man.
Yeah.
But well, it's too bad. Well, Monday night, I guess you'll get to see the paramotor motor with the case split and all the guts ripped out of it. We'll figure out what the problem was, and then do a parts order all the parts.
2-cycle or 4-cycle, Mike?
It's a 2-stroke, 28 horse, single cylinder, 28 horse, 2-stroke.
Oh, okay. What kind of oil were you running in it?
Castrol TTS synthetic.
You were okay.
But I don't know if it's a piston or a bearing on the crank. We don't know until we pull the jug off it and find out. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, if it's a burnt piston or if it's a bearing on the crank. But we got to take it off the frame and then split the case. Well, I guess the first thing we'll do is pull the jug. We hope it's the piston, not the crank. Yeah, that would be the cheapest option. Is if it's a piston.
Hey, I don't know if you've ever tried it or not, but
You lost the landing gear.
in my old 250 motocross bike, I finally ended up running at the end AMSOIL. 2 years I went on a spark plug that didn't foul. And that damn thing, I would have to bring the spark plug with me all the time because that always foul plugs.
And these PPGs, man, the Castrol TTS is the shit, man.
I'm an AMSOIL guy.
You're an AMSOIL guy? No, you're the one that turned me on to Castrol TTS.
I got AMSOIL on my.
He runs AMSOIL.
I've used all that stuff, and I found that for some reason the AMSOIL doesn't follow the plugs, and everything lasts longer. But that's been
because you're full of shit, man. He's over here waving, and he's like, "This guy don't know."
No, I mean it's just oil.
It's oil, man.
It's all about carburation and mix. It's not the oil.
Carburation and mix. It's not the oil. It's carburation mix. I'm sorry, we're a little tanked right now, man.
And I'm the Amsoil guy, but it doesn't matter, you know.
We've been catching up for a few hours here. So find the landing gear to my drone,
Any
man.
oil that you can find probably will work.
Yeah. But yeah, best case scenario, it's a piston. Hopefully not crank bearings, but all the parts are readily available from Fly Products. They still carry all the parts for that engine. So hopefully I'll be in the air here in the next 3-4 weeks. We'll get this thing rebuilt, and I'll get to go flying and post some.
Is it hard to? Well, you got to separate the case and stuff to get the crank out.
We would, yeah. If it's the crank, we'll have to split the case. Yeah.
Not a big.
I was trying to get on Fly Products website and I couldn't get in. They have a new website, or is there a problem with their website?
Whose website?
What's the question?
Fly Products. I was trying to get into Fly Products website and I couldn't get in.
Actually, look at Aerolite, AEROLITE, Florida. It's a Fly Products Power Gold 130, but Aerolite is the importer out of Florida.
Okay.
So if you look at is it LITE or LIGH?
It's in Miami.
It's in Miami, Florida. Aerolite, AEROLITE, out of Miami, Florida.
And the two guys that run it are Javier and Jose.
Jose and Javier, yeah, they sell all the Simonini stuff. The engine is a Simonini, and it's in a Fly Products frame. So Fly Products is the brand name of the frame and the PPG,
Which are built in Italy.
which are built in Italy. And
Whatever they are called.
the Simonini motor. It's the 28. I think it's 210 cc's or 212, 210 or 212 cc's. It's a single cylinder 28 horse motor.
Okie dokie.
All right, guys, I'm out of here.
See you, Steve. The nice thing about the Fly Product stuff and the Simonini is that motor has been used for powered paragliding for many years. And you can still buy all the parts you need. I could actually buy a brand new engine from Aerolite for like $2,800, just the motor part of it, you know.
Right.
But they sell, you know, every part for it. The cranks, bearings, jugs, pistons, all of it is available from them guys. Because one of the deals with the powered paraglider things was they changed motors so often. We're using so many different motors during the Chuck, the 2000s and so, and even the late 90s and the 2000s. The motors change so often. Still, yeah, they find like the latest and greatest lightweight 2-stroke motor and they put it on a PPG for 2 or 3 years, and then they find something else, and then you can't get parts for that motor anymore because they swapped them out so many times. But the Simonini has been around for 15 years, at least 25 years. So it's easily fixable, you know.
They're still in business.
Yeah, they're still in business and still making them, which is nice.
That's good.
I got to get back in the air though, man. I got to, you know, that's kind of my, besides control line flying, I like to put the machine on the trailer and head over to the airport that's like 20 minutes away. Takes me about 10 minutes to set everything up, and then I go fly for an hour and clear my head and have some fun. It's a cheap, easy way to get in the air without a pilot's license, you know?
Yeah. I just don't have the knees for it.
Well, I foot launched for like 7 years because I've had this thing for like 9 years now. 2010 is when I bought it. But 2 years ago, I put a quad on it. I put my motor on a quad kind of go-kart looking thing. You don't have to have knees, buddy. You can get wheels. You can get wheels. That's what I did 2 years ago. I put a cart on mine. And it's easy to do. There's a guy what's that guy's name? Leon. He's the Sky Cruiser guy. He's up in Minnesota. So pretty much any backpack unit, any foot launch unit paramotor that you have, you can buy this cart from this cat at Sky Cruiser for like $1,200. You can buy this 4-wheeled cart with a seat and the rings, the guide rings, and everything you need, and your backpack unit just bolts on to this cart that Leon came up with, and it's fully adjustable. Any paramotor backpack unit can be bolted onto his cart. It's a cheap option to put wheels on your PPG, and I did that 2 years ago after I had my heart attack and I got fat. So,
All right, guys. I'll see you later.
see you, Ruben.
Good night.
Steve. Sorry.
See you later, Steve.
See you later.
Yeah, I think it's time to call it a night here. And so anyway, everybody, thanks for coming. Had a good YouTube crowd tonight. So I guess we'll see. I'll probably see you in Triple Tree this weekend.
Give me Thursday. What day are you getting there?
Oh, well, I'm going to come Thursday, and then I'll come back again on Saturday.
Oh,
Not this weekend. That'll be next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll be there Thursday, probably Thursday, and then definitely Saturday.
Okay, you're not going to fly profile on Friday?
No, I got dialysis on Friday.
You got dialysis?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All
Because
right.
they have half A on Friday, too.
Yeah,
But,
I'll find it. I just fixed my plane. So.
yeah.
It'll be a good test for Brodax.
All right.
The Triple Tree Half A contest will be a good test of my airplane for Brodax.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, people. Enjoyed it. And we'll see y'all back Monday, all right?
Thanks a lot, Rusty.
Yeah, thanks. And we got some donations tonight, Super Chat donations. Appreciate that, too. So y'all take it easy and have a great weekend. And we'll see you Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel. All right. Good night.
Keep your stick on the eye.